Hey, good afternoon, Manchester, New Hampshire, and all the surrounding areas. How are you today? I am with a very famous troublemaker, John
Infamous.
Hopwood. Infamous. John
And
Hopwood.
I wished I'd seen Joe Elber a few days ago. I wished I'd taken his tips on how to powder your head.
Oh, you
It's
look
starting to
fine.
shine.
Yeah. Well, just put a little, on that one. But now they say powder causes cancer.
See, I have this hat, but it's for California.
That's
But then I
all.
realized
No.
everybody's calling a Matt show and asking if I was gay. And I think, oh, you're wearing a bear hat.
Yeah,
It's a California
Sad
Golden
that-
Bears, right?
you know, one of the things I will never understand, I am openly gay, as you know. I don't hide the fact of who I am. But why I have a lot of people say, oh, one of my gay friends do this, one of my gay friend or my black friend does that. Why do you have to label?
Well, everybody's labeled
Isn't that
nowadays.
sad?
Well, I think we've made progress, but we're not quite there yet, right?
Yes, yeah, movie chair.
Yeah,
As
but
that were.
everybody's labeled. It's labeled to a degree.
Yeah.
Everybody. We live in a culture of grievance, and now gays can get married and everything. Somebody was telling me, do you think that's why all of a sudden transgender, the issue came out of nowhere, really? Because you have this political and financial machinery, and suddenly, because after the Civil War, after they abolished slavery, many of the abolitionists tried to do something for the American Indian, but in the great race of who got screwed the worst, that's like a photographic finish at
it is-
the
it is,
racetrack.
isn't it? Yeah.
I'll say the Indian, when Native American,
Native Americans win.
Yeah.
just by the nose.
The sad part is like the Native Americans are the forgotten ones.
Oh yeah, in this state we don't even have a federally recognized tribe, and that means there was no Indian gaming. But you notice that with Elizabeth Warren, who I used to support until I used to support Elizabeth Warren for 4 years. I had a Facebook website until this recent presidential campaign revealed her as a serial liar.
Yeah.
Most recently with anything you could say about Bernie, there's lots of criticism about him being.
Bernie and Elizabeth are going right after each other.
Well,
Now Hillary Clinton's going after Bernie.
Well, she took Bernie's platform, and it's just amazing what she said, because there's no way that Bernie Sanders would have said that.
No.
He got beaten by Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Well,
she came.
Elizabeth Warren speaks with forked tongue.
Oh yeah.
What is she actually?
Disappointing.
1% Native American? Or was
Well,
it?
no,
She's not
it was
even.
1/64th, but you can't tell from a DNA test
Oh.
about who's a Native American or
Are there
not.
true honest politicians?
It depends.
Well, you want to put the fifth on that one?
Well, no, politics is prostitution. If prostitution is the oldest profession, a procurer, a pimp, or a mac, whatever you want to call it, is the second oldest, and they became politicians. If, everybody's complaining about, like, Joe Biden. First of all, the idea that Joe Biden's not a Kennedy liberal, which he always was. Yeah. Suddenly he's a right-winger and a racist and all this stuff, which that's political rhetoric. Yeah. But one thing, as you watch Joe, is he's been there so long and done so much, and he was one of the most effective and powerful senators. He's probably forgotten some of what he's done or what he used to stand for. Yeah. But if you can't make a deal, you get nothing done. No. It used to be, it took, in Joe's time when he started in 73, because he was elected in 72, he was 30 years old, it took 51 votes. If you couldn't get 51 votes, it's meaningless. Yeah. But there were always senators that they call show horses and workhorses. Now it takes 60 because of the filibuster. Yeah. But Bernie was a socialist, so he's always a backbencher. Whereas I think Biden would be the most qualified person for president for maybe a year or two or whatever. But Amy Klobuchar works with Republicans, a highly effective senator. She's clearly very qualified, but you have to work with each other. Like when I lived with a woman, and we were going to have kids, and she had a confession to make to me. It was her great-grandfather was Orrin Hatch. And I said, are you telling me my kids, you're related to Orrin Hatch of Utah? This right-wing senator? He said, yes. Yeah. He's my first cousin. I said, oh, well, they're good. Ted Kennedy's his best friend, and, that's okay. Yeah. And they were great friends. Oh. But that's all gone by now.
Do you I remember when Trump's daughter and Hillary Clinton's daughter were the best of friends.
Oh, yeah. And Hillary Clinton and Trump's were friends.
Yeah. Hillary's going to Ireland.
FDR and Joe Kennedy, the father,
Yeah.
were very close. Joe Kennedy was critical for FDR's campaign in 1932,
Wow.
and he helped get him the nomination. And then he sent him to England, United Kingdom, as ambassador. Now, an Irishman going to England,
There you
look
go.
at what the problems they're having with Meghan Markle,
Yeah.
who was African American. It was almost a way of giving them the finger in a way. But FDR hated Hitler, and Joe Kennedy, Irish, were
Yeah.
not exactly great for the
Compatible.
English, and he had to get rid of him and bring him back home. He was an isolationist, but the sons had grown up together, Joe's and FDR's sons, and though FDR and Joe Kennedy became,
Yeah.
bitter on Joe's part, they became estranged, and the sons still knew each other. And in fact, one of FDR's sons always said he was there when Joe Kennedy died that time. He was part of the plane, the formation. So, children and that.
Yeah.
But the Clintons and Trump used to be friends. Yeah.
And I
Imagine-
have a feeling they still are.
Yeah.
You know,
Same.
one of the things that I forgot. Welcome all my friends on Facebook who are listening to us, and we want to make sure that they can all hear us. And I'm once again here with John Hopwood, and
Who forgot his jacket? So
Who forgot his
he wouldn't have worn a short sleeve shirt.
you look, and
Actually, I'm following suit.
And
So.
you have a log and you roll
well,
it up.
James, I don't know what your last name is.
Olivera.
Olivera. Is that
Like the
Italian?
typewriter.
Like the typewriter. Just think of Oliver with an A.
Oh,
Oh, Olivera.
Olivera.
I like. You like olives?
Oh, of course.
Actually, I don't. That's funny. I
And,
don't think they, the taste, they're all right.
you know,
These
they're
different
passion pits, right?
Are they?
The more olive you eat,
Passion?
the more passionate you get. Especially the green ones.
Was that about Italians that they're?
Yeah.
The crazy Italians, they're going to have the olives and the garlic and everything
And
good.
folks, the one thing I want to do, and I want to thank each and every one of you out there for the prayers that for my daughter-in-law
Yes.
and the get well wishes. We had over 100 and something get well wishes for my daughter-in-law. Her surgery was a success. She's home right now. She's still in pain, but that's okay, And we owe a special thanks to Mary and Lemay, who has been very good about helping Tammy going back and forth. And folks,
She's great.
Mary is a very special person, let me tell you.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty awesome. So you're thinking about having your own TV show, huh?
They were encouraging me, and so I figured I fill out the form. If I take baby steps, every 2.5 hours per month, every other week, and I figured I'll take the plunge, give it a try, and see what have some ideas, see what happens.
You know, if you don't, you'll always wonder, could I, would I, should I?
Right.
I love doing my show.
I'm getting sick of my
Yeah, I know.
show.
You're sick of your show.
Not challenging enough for you.
Well, I can't get any guests.
Oh, I know that. The other day, last week, I had a.
I thought nobody. Let's not get into that because I thought I could
Yeah, no,
corral Vermin Supreme.
Yeah, I'd like to have him on the show. if you
Yeah,
ever
but
get a hold of him.
he's being. Can we use the B word? Let's just say the B wordy.
Yeah, okay. But I have a lady that we met in the elevator. I know this sounds kind of, but anyway, I met her in the elevator, her and her friends, and I invited them to come on, and she came on last week.
Oh, I've done that
Yeah.
before. Pick
I-
somebody off the street.
I love, I think that's what I like, spontaneous people. There's another man I got to send out to a book in, but I love having people come on the show spontaneously. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And
I hate being on alone though.
try it for 2 hours.
I can't understand these people that just stare at a camera for an hour or so.
Yeah, I think you need a little feedback. You need a little reaction, right? To some of the things.
God,
You do.
I did it for an hour by myself one time. That was the longest. But to have to do it for 2 hours,
An hour. I just
I think
got
I
start.
probably would have gone on a repeat.
I just start saying even more the
Meetings or
truth.
watching it.
Go on a tangent, right? Hold them back.
Oh,
hold them back.
You know,
Watching.
a person being there can rein you in so you don't reveal everything you know.
Yeah, but the shows I see, you're very creative. But sometimes I think still you think you need a,
Oh, having a co-host
response.
is good.
Yeah. Stop holding yourself back.
I am? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Learn how to tie a proper necktie too.
He bought it that way. No, he bought it that
Oh,
way.
that's
Came
what it
as a
is?
set.
Yeah.
Came as a set.
Oh, never seen one like
they
that.
do the pick. The shirt matches the tie collection for you if you go to a certain place, and You know, you have to like, should I get red? Should I get blue, green?
It reminds me
You
of
buy-
the old towels on a roll they used to have in
You-
men's room. As a
you
kid.
buy-
They were always
Why
flat,
is it
felt
there?
made,
Buy
remember?
them together.
Stop insulting him.
I wore this because my tie, I was all wrinkled.
I feel like Rodney Dangerfield. I tell you,
I love Ronnie.
making fun of my tie.
I saw him with Heidi Hamer,
No
your
respect.
favorite state rep, and her
Yeah.
husband. I never laughed so much. It was about 81 or 82.
Now, was she still a state rep?
Oh, yeah. She's running again.
She and I don't like each other. Well, actually, remember when she called and said, I don't like her? That wasn't true. I don't agree with some of her issues.
Bring her on.
You know.
I know.
I really don't want a whole lot of politics. Like we've said before. Like, I'll bring Ross Carroll on. I'll bring them on if they want to come on.
Because we know him and he's
But,
friendly.
Yeah. And I'll bring anybody on. Everybody's welcome, but I don't want to make this a political. The last time I did, my show went downhill wicked bad.
Oh, yeah, because it's the antithesis of spirituality. Because once again,
Yeah.
it's prostitution. If you're not a prostitute, if you don't prostitute yourself, you're not going to get anything done.
Is that why I'm not making money? Because I'm not a prostitute anymore?
Well, I guess. But there's grades of prostitute all the way up from a porta potty hooker in Pershing Square in L.A. to your $10,000 a night girl.
Are you ready to hear a poem
Cole.
from Jim?
Hi,
Sure,
cool girls.
yeah.
Are you
It's
gonna?
poem time. I have a poem, sir. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'll save the cat poem for Mary because I
Yeah,
know she
please
loves
do.
cats.
Yeah.
Okay. I promised.
James McInerney there is going to give us a poem.
McInerney?
Yeah.
Olivera.
Well, McInerney sounds better.
It does.
Remember? That way you can pick the name.
This is a bit of a.
I'm in a really happy
What do you call that,
mood.
Joan? When you,
We're going to
I
have a
am
lot
not.
of fun. Well, you will be. We're going to have a
my
lot of fun.
Apple iPhone bricked.
Oh,
But it came to life just before I came here. That was a
that's why I put a
miracle.
magic touch on it. Go ahead. We'll turn
Okay.
it over to you, James.
this starts out. It's called "Like the Elm."
You don't have to put your
Oh,
mouth on
like
it.
the elm, and it runs together with other things that I think are in sync with in defense of Elm Street. So
They need a lot of defending.
hope you
There's no elms anymore.
hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Memory Eye Tracer, slow-moving soldier of the breeze, cosmic light lasers, open signs, climb your mind's diary. Living can bring anyone to the point of seeing only schemes. Living will weigh anyone's soul till the energy is divided into serendipity. Oh, get some new clothes, Mr. Ragged Coin Collector. Get some new shoes, Mrs. Alchemy, drinking in the stench. Get some new tomorrows, our harrowing hero beyond protection. Oh, get some new windows to see through, you poor, walking reflections. Because memories, they leap, they sleep, they awake. Like a volcano on the prow, they escape. From under the underground bedchambers of the YMCA to the fluorescent alley places, sitting with decay. Oh, if Buddha had a car, he'd surely drive down these alleyways to see you tiptoe and row, the wind's voice beyond the day. So cruel the landlord's new way of tracking you down. So rude the universe to those who won't figure it out. Hey, Memory Queen at the second-hand store, avoiding the thunderstorm. Hey, Memory King at the soup kitchen door, recalling his mother's weather vane. Hey, Memory Joker around every rummy corner, playing his poker hand like a worn-out whore. Hey, Memory Magician, leaving your abacus castle, adding 0 to pain. Oh, flag flying, eagle sweeping, albatross moving like a minx. My American home, my Americana home is wishing on an image when all I do is think. So like gum stuck to the seat of a bus, I shall fly to the mighty kingdom of a distant drum on the northern side, like the elm, like the pine, like the spruce, the cage of sight. Oh, dazzling day, painting your picture, the color scheme, to speak imagining the way she would have smiled at that. Such a dazzling day. Your world seems to reach immeasurably like crashing waves examining your watershed tears. Or laugh's history that was only moments ago. The open door was always pleasing your underscored mind. And light can dance, like time without age. Oh, life can last, like fate without fear. If only you were here to see the way this dazzling day lets me know you're still near. So keep showing me your secrets, keeping me sane, holding me close, revealing what no one owns. Oh, our love was in love with sweet rain, falling down, exploding into us, like sunshine or falling snow. Oh, it was only moments ago. We kissed in paradise, revisited was found. Wasn't it only moments ago? We were together everywhere, even always around. Hey, dazzling day, love is wise. Oh, dazzling day, love is the many reasons why. Hey, dazzling day, bested by none. Hey, sweet dazzling day, with more to come. So said the hypnotic green eyes of the lonely waitress at the all-night diner, using her drops of rosemary to show me, because we couldn't hear or see without her fever-pitched songs. And on display came a view, I must say, of the people in the shadows working on their second piece of pie, as our Savior returned to live amongst us for a little while. And if a razor's edge is glistening, how bright must the factory girl's heart shine? Isn't Elm Street a paradox, or maybe a blue jay's nest? Or when will the sweethearts who can share a poet's madness come out to play and sing of perfection's big spoon lullabies? And if blue is red and green is gold, how will I take it how long will it take for the street performers' masterpieces to be sold? And where does Mother Teresa dwell as we tell ourselves we can't make it? Can't she see us, acting so strange? Oh, tomorrow, have you heard? Because the all-night diner loves all the seasons 5. You know, the 5th is quite like the others, but oh, don't take this the wrong way, said the train conductor, but something isn't right with society. And if the waitress of the all-night diner could become a dazzling day bride, we would all be a bit frightened, but not afraid at all. Hearing the ghost of Elm Street call, a welcome to the all-night diner. Can you see how blind you've been? Yes, our coffee is the best in the city. If you can feel the healing walk on at all.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
You should make some video and put your voice to that. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to kind of, most of the time all you hear is about how bad Elm Street is. I kind of
Well, it is.
put a little collage in defense of maybe.
It was back when I was a kid, too. In the 70s.
Was it really?
Well, after the 60s, everything died once they created the malls. There were all sorts of, we called them, there was Downtown Judy. There was the professor, but he wore a suit.
I loved him.
Do you remember the professor?
Oh, yeah.
He had his little ladder, and he would give impromptu speeches.
On street corners and
Yeah, right on Elm Street.
When first I
Then
heard
they had
about
a
that.
lieutenant colonel had the most beautiful white hair.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
must have been out.
And I can remember in my drinking days, I snuck into the alley to go urinate. Here he was laying there, and going, oh my God, you know. And he had a gun, but he didn't do, you know. He always called me Mickey.
Oh, because you're Mick?
Yeah, I guess. You know.
Irish.
And,
That's nice.
well, you know, the professor, right? He actually was living on the street because he went in and he found his wife had burned in a fire.
Oh my God, I was
Oh,
gonna ask what happened to him, but that explains it.
But the McDonald's downtown on Elm Street, which is long gone, what a crew of
There
characters.
was McDonald's there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I wrote a short story for Joe Sullivan, the great teacher
Yeah.
from West High, and about the people down there. It was quite a collection. I think it's about the time they closed down Concord and they put the people on the street. And then that's a process that accelerated under the Reagan administration. Because they had drugs then, the SSRIs and stuff. Everybody, you know, well, it's cruel and save money, which it was cruel when they had the people up in Concord. It was like scandalous.
Yeah.
And so you put them out. They were supposed to have housing because there used to be when I lived in Boston, New York, single room only hotels. So for not much money, you could have at least 4 walls around you. But that doesn't exist even in Boston, New York anymore.
You know, I always felt that one of the biggest mistakes they ever made was when they closed the state hospital and the Lakota State School. Because I can remember one man they put into a rooming house. This is our modern society, you know, and he was blind and he had a hard time hearing. And they left him there, not knowing when he should go to dinner or they were supposed to somebody to take care of him or whatever. They
Right, and he'd been brought up to expect that.
Institution, you know. And they went and checked on him a day and a half later, he was dead.
Yeah.
Died of fright.
Yeah, I know about somebody that they let, and they disappeared after all. Nobody had ever heard about them again. It was the relative. It was an illegitimate child of somebody's aunt.
Yeah.
And back in the 40s,
You
they
couldn't
just
have
put you in up in Concord, even if there's nothing wrong with you. But after being in Concord, that was the state hospital. There would be something wrong with you. Then they let them out, and then he just disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to him.
And then, you know, I can remember when I got I was starting to get my psych degree, you know, in nursing. And I looked at this guy, his name was William, and I said, how long have you been here? He says he was 17. Smart. This man went, but because his girlfriend's father was a politician, and he didn't meet, and he got this guy broke a window.
Well, he probably broke something else other than his daughter.
Probably. Her
heart and other body parts.
Yeah. So the sad part is that he was in there with no chance of getting out. When he finally got out, he couldn't handle it. You know, well, there's no training.
Well, that's true with a lot of people that go to prison.
Yeah, that's why they have repeat offenders.
Like Charles Manson said at the trial, which lasted 9 months, you know, I'm the product of this society. He'd only been since he was a child.
Yeah.
You know, like several months, not even a year. He always would go back in.
Did you see that movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No, not yet. Not until it's free.
Okay.
I'm the same way.
You haven't seen it yet? No.
I won't pay for a movie.
I don't like
I
Brad
can
Pitt
remember,
either, but I hear he's very good.
Yeah. I mean, they got a new one that's coming on. It's a TV series. It's Afro-American who got his degree while he was in prison.
Well, yeah, there are people. There's a guy named Sean Hopwood who got his law degree while in prison. He was a bank robber. Yeah. I just figured, I'm glad my father's gone because he always wanted me to go to law school. And he figured somebody from prison could get his law degree, not you.
I'm actually looking forward to it because he was an innocent person, went to prison, he got his law degree and stuff like that. Now they're all he's defending the other. When he's on the prison, I'm really interested to see. I always wonder. Thank God for DNA testing now. If they really want to go, because look at how many children.
You find out you have relatives.
And innocent people that really are in prison because they don't like. When I was in psychology, I took a refresher course up here, and I can remember that one of my college professors says that down in New Orleans, this man, he was an Afro-American illiterate special needs child, and he got accused of raping and murdering a woman, and within 24 hours they had put him to death. Then they found out it wasn't him.
Well, when I got sued by our illustrious former mayor, they brought up the fact that I had written an article about a similar case as the proof that, I should have known that, I was defaming him. Of course, everything was true. Like the judge said, saying a politician is a liar is hardly a novel thing, and he is a liar. And she said that in so many words. But Donald Gates spent over 30 years in prison. He was an African American. There was a rape murder in Washington, D.C. He didn't even match the description. No. It's like, the guy was tall and thin, or he was short and stocky, or it could have been the other way around. 32 years, and the thing was, there's the Brady case, the Supreme Court in 1963, that when you find out evidence that the person is actually innocent, and that would prove his innocence, you're supposed to give it to the defense, but they never do it. So for, 10, 12, or 13 years, they knew at the DNA test that he didn't do it, and they did not give it to his attorneys. And when the judge heard the case, I was not at the National Whistleblower Center, oh my God, he went off. But there's literally hundreds of thousands of people, or millions at this effect, and people on death row. He was convicted, there's no death penalty in Washington, but he spent 32 years for a crime he didn't commit. But the thing was, they just wanted somebody, and there's a case of somebody that's facing the death penalty now, where a professional snitch, who a lifelong career of snitching, years and years, he actually boasts about how many people he put on death row. What they would do is they'd take you in this prison system, put you in his cell block, and which was enough to, and then he'd make the stories up.
Oh, gosh.
And
Wow.
The public, it doesn't matter. It goes back to ancient times, or as Joel Love would say, it goes back to Egyptian times. It doesn't matter who you kill.
No.
It's a scapegoat. Yeah. Society needs its blood or vengeance,
I have a question. I mean, I obviously have a lot of knowledge, but why isn't there some kind of non-partial advocate commission on behalf of every person who's on death row? There is?
Yeah.
Well, there's too many people. Yeah. It costs millions of dollars to execute somebody.
Yeah,
and then this is what I don't
and
understand.
even for them to sit in jail.
Michael Anderson was sentenced to prison, right?
Oh, the guy who shot Briggs?
I don't believe he did it, but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have a lot of questions on that, but how can somebody running down the hill shoot somebody here? But anyway, if you're going to give someone the death penalty, why does it take 10 to 12 years?
The appeals.
And it's cheaper to keep them life imprisonment than it is to put them in death row.
In Cold Blood, Truman Capote.
Oh, I love that book.
I read that. Yeah.
Great book. But the death penalty would work if it can be the trial can be immediate and the execution is immediate.
Right.
Otherwise, the deterrent value,
I used to have a lot of dispute on that.
Right, because Matt says, how can you tell if somebody was deterred? Like, if I was going to kill somebody, he said, well, I don't want to get the death penalty. You'll never know. But that's an abstraction. But, it's pretty much like Huckman, he's who kidnapped the Lindbergh baby, murdered. Allegedly, but he was convicted. There was and they always hear a death penalty is always automatically appealed, and he was executed within months. But by the time of In Cold Blood, it was 7 years till they were executed. And Capote, I remember him in an interview saying, it would have a deterrent value and research if it was immediate. But when you go years and years and years and years, and then like California got the death penalty back, and execute 9 people up to 10 or 5 years ago. It costs over $300 million.
I think Texas leads the nation in executions.
Texas has the highest rate of executions. Yeah. But, that's like what I didn't like. And
one of the highest rates of murder.
What I didn't like, Kelly Ayotte was standing there and they were trying to stop and shut my mouth up and I refused to. I said, how can you run your political campaign for the U.S. Senate using Michael Briggs, who was killed and murdered, and you didn't even try the case. Somebody else did it for you, but you're getting credit for it. How can you honestly accept that as a political? Boy,
she's a politician.
Yeah. And you know what? They got it. I didn't realize they went. Channel 9 picked it up. And Will and Steve and everybody ushering me right. I said, no, I'm not moving out. I said, and don't we have the right to freedom of speech? And when
not in New Hampshire.
No.
Because what's interesting is when all these death penalty advocates and liberals, New Hampshire liberals, different than the ones I knew in Massachusetts, New York, or California, or Washington, D.C., none of them, when they were going to, and they abolished the death penalty. Nobody talked about Briggs, though. Nobody talks about that. In the appeals, they said racism had nothing to do with it. And from what I've read the case. I would disagree, but I haven't probably read into it as much as you. Yeah. And I was only reading some trial transcripts.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that
nobody said, well, let's commute his sentence or let him off or anything, because that's racism in New Hampshire. You're never going to touch.
I have a question for the panel. Now, a defense lawyer,
can say and do anything.
Okay, but are they obligated to defend someone they know is guilty, or can they refuse?
Yes, they are.
They
have to? Technically, no.
No?
No.
Okay.
If they're guilty, you can opt out. It's a complicated. The best movie to watch about it, and it's just a movie, but it was made by Otto Preminger, who was a very good filmmaker. It's called Anatomy of a Murder.
Oh, Jimmy Stewart.
One of Jimmy Stewart's greatest performances.
Yeah.
Ben Gazzara
that's a good one,
that great actress was in it, and just wants him to tell him that you didn't do it. And he says, and remember, he prepares him, so he says, irresistible impulse, which he's never heard about. Yes, after like 5 minutes. It must have been an irresistible impulse.
Jeremy didn't know.
But if they're guilty, you're not supposed to. But once you file a lawsuit, if you're an attorney or defending, you can libel and defame everybody, because that goes back hundreds of years in England.
Lee Remick.
You can go. Yeah, Lee Remick was great. You can go right to the limit to ensure that somebody will get the best defense, because the other side's going to lie like hell, which
that's
prosecutors
like I
withhold evidence.
I had to go to court one time, and I looked at him. I said, I refuse to put my hand on the Bible and say, so help me God, because I don't, And she said, excuse me. I said, I will tell you the truth, but I will not say, so help me God.
Well, people have been jailed for not taking oaths and stuff.
She said, that's what she told me. I said,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll go to jail for what I believe in.
Remember Brando at the trial of his son who shot his daughter's boyfriend, said, well, I'll swear, but I'm not going to swear to a higher being, because and him being Brando, well, I'm unsure. I can't say, but I'll swear. But
she decided to cop a plea. She said, we got, I want to see it would have been great for video. The way the woman, she threw her dog over the rail, broke the bones of the dog and all that. And I saw her do it. And, so they and another friend of mine both thought. And this guy who was going to go and testify with me against her, if you hadn't seen this guy, he was a big man. You would have never thought. He was a former, let's call all this other stuff, really nice guy. But she came into the courtroom, okay. First she wanted the judge to go up and talk to her in the hallway. And a judge is not going to do that, okay. And he said, are you kidding me? And we started laughing, And then she comes in and she throws her leather jacket on the floor. You can do whatever you do. But I'm going, drama queen. I didn't realize the judge had heard me. I'm going, drama queen. Let's give her an Oscar. And then judge said, even he doesn't believe you. And here's a woman, she had a cast on, and the poor me type thing. And so they found her guilty, of course. Yep. So they put her in a holding cell. And in that cell, she had a cast on, and she broke her cat banging in on the cell and broke the toilet.
Holy smoke.
She tried to play that she was mentally incompetent.
Well, there's another one. How do you know when someone, how do you define legally insane?
It's on the McNaughton rule.
Isn't that a tricky thing?
Insanity is only a legal definition. It's not a psychological one or a medical one. It's whether, in the Anglo-Saxon countries, whether you can tell the difference between right and wrong. Which is that's from the 1850s. It's very out of date. But
well, I'm going to tell you, my dad would have made a very good witness. He could tell. You would not know if you were telling the truth or not. He could tell you anything with a straight face.
Yeah.
You couldn't, because you would start laughing.
There were people that can beat a lie detector.
Oh, yeah.
Psychopaths.
Yeah. No conscience.
I watch a lot of this justice on TV about how these serial killers and all that.
They're fascinating. I used to write about Charles Manson and the family.
Well, look how close Ted Bundy got to high society, and everybody thought he was a great guy.
High society?
I mean, wasn't he friends with Rosalind Carter and Jimmy Carter? And
no, that was, you're thinking of John Wayne Gacy, who was a local Democratic official, and he got his picture taken with Rosalind Carter, because I remember, as a kid, the first Saturday Night Live, he had the picture of him with Rosalind Carter.
Well, he had no remorse.
Nobody had seen it before.
He was a clown artist.
Yeah, he was a clown,
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read a card here. I'm going to have you pick one out for me.
Okay.
And we're going to read it for the people that are doing the audience. What do you think?
Sure.
See what it says for us.
Let's see what card it'll be.
This is for the people who are watching this show, and then we're going to group it together.
Oh, but we have two more cards.
All right, give me two more. Lovers, okay? Lovers. The people that, the one thing I've learned is that...
Can I hold them up for the camera?
Sure.
This is that beautiful deck from Australia.
Yeah, but this is the one we're doing right now.
Okay.
Lovers.
Oh, yeah. Where they're...
Okay.
look at how they're taught.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
And-
He's going to the sacral chakra, but then
Yeah.
she's,
Yeah.
she's coming up from the
people
navel.
people have a misconception of lovers. It doesn't have to be man and woman, woman and man, or man and man and woman. Lovers can mean you love your animals. You love the universe. You love everything about the world. It doesn't mean, oh my God, she's so interesting. I just love her chest and her body, and and all that stuff. Or love her. Love is what comes from your heart for the people. Yeah, you love your wife. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I love my dog. And
See, they're connected by the sacral chakra, but
Yeah.
when we had it before, it's the heart chakra
Yeah.
too.
yeah.
And
He's-
love is just, first of all, you got to love yourself. In order for you to truly love other people, you have to, folks, learn how to love yourself. And that comes within here. And it comes here. And it comes with getting rid of all your anger issues. And half the time, when I started writing my anger issues out, they did not make any sense. What the hell am I angry about? Why did I have these resentments?
With me, I just look for something.
Right.
I realize I'm looking for something to be angry about.
And I carried it for over 60 years, all these anger issues, and they were unnecessary. When I learned how to forgive my dad, or had my dad actually came to me through spirit, and we learned how to communicate with each other, that's when I was able to let go of a lot of my resentments.
That's a big one.
I went up to,
I thought you might be seeing somebody over there that
I
only
went
you
up to
can see.
Springfield, New Hampshire, and I went to a place where I grew up, right near my house, called Daniel Marsh. It was a big dam that used to be a running brook, and I went up there, and there was a big, what a difference in 50 years how the dam can grow. And I went up there, and I screamed, and I yelled, and I cried, and you know what? I felt better.
Primal therapy.
Right. And you know what the thing is? Nobody knew who I was up there, because I had been gone there for over 50 years. All the people, and here everyone's blaming a town for all the stuff. When I should have looked at within myself. And that's like an alcoholic. Why don't we stop blaming other people for our drinking ways or an overset course, and start looking within our own hearts? We allowed it. We allow all this negative energy. Now it's time to let go of it. And that, to me, is what love is all about. When you learn how to Scott, can you put that up on this over there, or right over on that one there? The show. Yeah. Okay.
Those are pretty cards. Very,
Yeah.
very intricate.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to talk about sorrow, and then we'll do the moon after.
Here, well,
Oh boy.
Sorrow. There is so much sorrow in this country and in this universe. Okay.
well, when you were reading, I was thinking about a specific poem by Yeats about sorrow. Oh, what's it called? Oh, the lost child, I think it is, or something like that. And the refrain is always about sorrow, because the world is full of sorrow. I wished I could remember it. I used to be able to put that stuff in my head.
Wow.
The world is full of sorrow that no one can understand, and the child can't understand it.
Do we really understand that? Sorrow. Do we really understand what sorrow? We have sorrow when we lose our dog, our cat, our people, loved ones. We have sorrow when we don't have money.
We're born into
We're
sorrow.
born sorrow,
That's a good point.
And you know what? And the one thing is, I remember having saying, you know what? You're born today, but it's one next day to death.
Jeez, time goes by fast.
Yes.
I didn't think I'd ever be 60. Never thought I'd be 40.
I know. I actually outlived my whole family members.
Well, not me, yeah. I'd have to
My
get to
family all
99.
died in 60s, and then, of course,
Your
you know,
immediate family?
Yeah.
What do
Of
you-
course,
I'm sorry, good.
I'm only 47. I'm a 46-year-old son.
He's hard
Norm's
living.
getting younger. We're going. The rest of us getting older.
Yeah.
He's like
Actually,
Merlin. Merlin got younger.
I'm a good friend of Merlin's. You know.
Oh, the Merlin. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of how we measure time? I just want to.
How do we measure time?
No, the fact that the way we do it, use it.
It's different amongst cultures.
Yeah.
Time's fluid.
The
Even though
Indians
the
go by
clock-
sun.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Good.
Sorry.
Indians use the sun as a timer.
That's probably the best. But you can, they artificially, you have time.
I
But
don't
when
have
you're
time.
feeling bad, how long does a minute last? And when you're
4
happy,
hours, you know.
how fast
So do you
does it
think
go?
time enhances or does time destroy?
Depends on the individual what their thoughts are.
So,
That's
Yeah.
the way I classify it.
Well, everything is the when you read the great poets, there's the central theme, which is sorrow and decay. Oh, there's all the poems about loss, right up until the probably after World War II, when we can deny reality and let Madison Avenue and advertising and marketing take over everything. You can be young forever, and the whole thing about life is to be happy and screw everything except your own narcissistic desires. That's right out of advertising, and that's our political culture now. But everybody understood. You read the medieval times or Yeats that you're born to die. That was one of the central metaphors of Christianity or any religion, and that losing. But when you read Yeats and the great poets like Blake, I'm sure you've read Blake. You pass from youth into experience. You pass from innocence into experience. And it's always painful. There's always sorrow. But you gain wisdom. And that seems to be the thing our culture, since maybe the 50s and the good times of Eisenhower or whatever, denies that. You don't gain wisdom. You just gain a 55-inch UDH TV for $350.
And to me, when sorrow is how you want to do it, you can sit on that pity pot and feel sorry for yourself, or you can become strong and love yourself and get rid of the sorrow. You have to have the bad and the good.
What would you have been if you hadn't gone through the loss? Because I
don't know.
You got up there, then you fell.
Oh yeah,
and then
I was very narcissistic. When I was really young, doing the readings and doing all this stuff and becoming very popular. But then the Spirit said to me one day, I can take this all away from you. And they can. And they have.
It's a gift.
You have to earn the respect of the Spirit in order to be where you are today, And that's every day Scott and I are always looking at, I don't have the most expensive apartment in the world, but it's a nice, comfortable apartment. And I live across the street from the park. And we have really good neighbors that live in the building,
Good, I'm glad.
And they buy their business. I don't really know them, and they don't know me. And I like it better that way, They all know I'm the queen of the building, I don't, But, it's all in how you can sit on a pity pot and, I am so sorrowful in my life. I have so many amends to make, and I have to do this, and nobody likes me, so I'm going to sorrow my life away. It's okay. If someone dies, it's okay to grieve.
Right, but a lot of times in America, you get the feed not to grieve.
Right. When someone, I've had 2 people that have died in my house.
Oh.
And I am one that I take the minute they die and they're gone, everything they owned, I take out of my house. I keep nothing because I don't need. In my heart, I don't cry. Do I mourn for them? No. Do I rejoice for them? Absolutely. And it's okay. Everybody, like Dr. Kevin Ross, everybody, we all talked. We had a show on this talking about people crossing over and the sorrow that brings it. But I am one that once it's over, you can keep them in your heart. I have pictures, but you can keep them in your heart. But the more you linger on, this is my belief, the more you the more you hold their stuff in your house, the more you're holding the spirit back from going to a higher power, to a higher level, because you're not allowing them to go.
Yeah, you're right. When I was at Stonehenge, I was doing a lot of research into the old religion, and it dawned on me that the secret of Stonehenge, and this is really boiling it down, is that it's a joyous acceptance of death because you're going on to another world. Because whatever you'd call druids or anything, they believed in reincarnation, just like Hindus or Buddhists. When you die, you go to the bardo, and you come back. Whereas Christianity, I don't know where they dreamt up this thing about heaven, and it's going to be. I was with my father. He used to live in Burlington, Vermont, and Bernie Sanders first ran for governor. A socialist is running. Vermont had changed a lot, and this is '74, and The Jehovah's Witnesses came with a handout, and it shows heaven. And my father was salesman. He was very polite, and they were, it was a woman and a younger guy, and she was training him, and everything was lovely. And then he left. My father says, "Look at this." He says, there's no black people in heaven. And then he says, "I don't know if I want to go. They don't have Cadillacs." Or he said a Cadillac or a Lincoln.
Yeah. I can remember my dad was
An American, a World War II vintage.
I can remember my dad was outside. I was young then, maybe 8 or 9 years old. That's when my dad and I were talking, and that Jehovah's Witness came over. And my dad was digging a well by him, to have water to come in. And Jehovah's Witness actually drank a beer with him, and they talked about it. And my dad says in a very straight face, "Yep, if you can prove to me that I'm going to go to heaven, then I'll join your group." Because the Jehovah's Witnesses believe that only 177,000
Right, yeah,
people,
exactly,
so.
yeah. You're either chosen or you're not. So what's this pamphlet going to do?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the one thing I will respect the fact that when they all get together, they build the church on a weekend.
Yeah.
And water and everything, and they build the neighbor, say one more, and everything Mormons.
But they don't believe in blood transfusions, no matter how sick you are.
No.
Sex of Jehovah's
I
Witnesses.
thought I thought that was Christian Scientists.
And the blood Jehovah's Witnesses as well.
Are they the ones that have the horn on the table on a
Yeah.
Saturday? Because
Jehovah.
who's going to blow the horn? I shouldn't ask you something.
Well, which has
something
caused some
so
controversy in modern society.
And, the minister,
the whole world.
that's the head elder that blows the horn. Okay. But I have to respect the fact that they do believe, like, if they they're going to get together on a weekend and they'll build a house and with electricity or the Kingdom Hall and they all work together to build it up and and all that stuff.
They used to have some huge arguments with the Catholics when I was growing up. You'd see them they'd be on the stairs of the old Catholic churches in Long Beach, and they'd shouting at one another because the priest didn't want them to come in.
Oh yeah.
And they had their what do you call it? The Watchtower.
Watchtower,
and
yeah.
they'd leave it on the stairs.
Yeah.
The Watchtower.
Well, I said to one lady, she gave me thank you, I needed toilet paper.
But I don't know about the Jehovah's Witnesses any more than that, but this hellfire religion, I think, is just.
Here she comes.
Hey,
Mary's here.
Applaud.
Oh, hi, Mary.
Here comes my very dear friend who was a very, very special lady who has been invaluable to my son, my daughter-in-law, and myself and Scott. And I can never thank Mary enough for all the help she has given to us.
That's what friends are for.
Oh, she enters just as we got to talk about the moon, which is a
Yeah.
feminine
You notice how she
symbol.
come in just at the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah, she came in.
The moon.
She actually barks like the wolf at the moon.
Oh!
There you go. See?
Maybe she's a Sasquatch.
Yeah, there you go.
And if you see my jacket,
There you go. See?
Oh, it does.
Lone
Lone wolf.
it's a
Hey, that's right. Folks,
to belong
the
to the
moon.
wolves.
You get a lot. I love the full moon. I like the
can't
new one.
remember
Yeah.
when it.
I love the energies from the full moon. Don't you, Mary?
Yeah, you
That's
feel
why
it.
I howl when I
Yeah.
see the new moon.
That's why you can. Yeah, there you go.
Well, the new moon is no
feeling?
moon,
Yeah.
and the
So
full moon is the
Yeah,
big.
yeah, I like the
something-
full moon.
something's
and I
gotta
like
give
it
there.
all.
It feels
But
like
if
it's
you
moving
look at,
now.
I always tell people, like, if you live in a country area and it's a full moon, sit out on your deck, sit on your porch. If you've got a lot of forestry out there, listen to the breeze. 'Cause I truly believe that a lot of times there are a river where the Indian campgrounds used to be. I truly believe that you will hear the echoes of the Indians beating the drums and playing the drums in celebration of the new moon.
Well, my aunts were. When they say that the nation is a nation of immigrants, that's not true. If your people were already here before the United States, they were settlers.
Yeah.
They fought.
Aren't we
the
all
Indians.
actually even the,
Then
aren't we all immigrants?
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
A settler's not an immigrant.
All right. But we all have been does anybody really know who the true I know they say Native
Where did it
American
all
are the
begin?
true
A Native American up to in the late 1960s meant that you were English,
Yeah.
and from the English. They created the United States from British North America. It was settlers.
Yeah.
It's a different thing, just like the French. A settler the people that came here, like New England, had an idea to create the New Jerusalem on the hill. They had the ideals, and like when you talk about the First Amendment, that comes out of John Milton, who after Shakespeare, the greatest writer in English, who wrote Paradise Lost. But he also wrote Areopagitica, which is a pamphlet about freedom of speech. So it's so ironic that the Puritans, created a lot of the culture we have. But, and the Native Americans, that's a trick phrase, because nativists were the English that wanted to keep out the Irish Catholics like my mother.
How was
one branch of family.
How was your
Bottom
Jimmy's?
line.
Huh?
How was Jimmy's house of pizza?
My what?
Yeah, your dinner that you got from Jimmy's house of pizza.
Oh my God, you can't get any better.
Isn't it
You
great?
cannot get any better than Jimmy's.
No.
On
Is
Kelly
it
Street.
Jimmy's house of pizza on Kelly Street on the west side?
Oh, I didn't know about
Oh,
you can't
try
get any
it.
It's a
better.
new place or?
He's
Oh,
been
no,
here
it's
for
been here for
years. It's like a
63
mom and
years.
pop.
Yeah, the old mom and pops there.
I never heard of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
him
my-
and Jimmy and Angie.
Yeah, I had their steak bomb, and I was going to save half of it, and he had, well, somehow I couldn't save
I
half.
saved the other half for me for tonight.
Yeah, there you go. But I understand that the Hitchcock Hospital has a mall, huh?
Yes, they do. I've never seen it. If you go in, you swear it's a hotel or a motel.
You're talking about up on Hitchcock Way, 100 Hitchcock
In
Way?
No,
Le-
no, no.
in
Up in
Lebanon.
Hitchcock.
Oh, you're up in Lebanon.
Yeah, that's where my
Oh,
daughter
And it will tell you what level you go to.
Really?
When you come off an exit, you swear you're on the first floor, right?
Right.
You're not. You're on the
Yep.
third floor.
Wow.
When you come to an exit, you come to you're going third floor, and they say, no, you got to go to the fourth floor. I say, what do you mean? Ain't we on the first floor? She says, no, first floor is way down. You go down. The first floor, believe it or not, that's where they have the people down there. That's where they have the rooms, the first floor. It's like a basement. Second floor is your mall.
They must have learned from the Louisiana and New
Interesting.
Orleans. With floods, you get rid of all the sick people that were. 'Cause remember the hospitals and everything.
I still believe that
They say
because
they got rid of people.
I still believe that. I mean, she got great care there.
Yeah.
She really. I still believe that if she didn't have the insurance that she has, that she would not have such a great care.
Oh, I'm on Medicaid.
But the only
and
thing I didn't like-
Dartmouth Hitchcock takes great
And
care of me.
if it was me, I would have made a complaint against the nurse. When they take you out, they're supposed to
Oh,
take
yeah.
you to that car when you're in that and help you in the car and say, are you okay?
They didn't.
You ready to leave? She didn't. She did not stay with her until she got into the car. That's wrong.
I've never, but I've never.
That's wrong. Unless
We
you say
always,
no.
you know, that's,
No
you
one
know-
ever
you know-
followed me to the car.
Oh,
except
yeah,
if they wanted to,
that's
bail
They'll
me
get
protocol.
rid of you, yeah. But you
That's
know the sad
protocol
part
or
is,
something like
the
that.
nurses,
Want more money.
they don't, when I was in nursing training, even as a nurse, but I did most of my time at the state school, but when I went to the nursing homes, they do not give back rubs anymore to the patient.
Yeah, 'cause
Did they ever?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they- yeah.
I'd
They
never
did.
leave.
Yeah,
What
Back
was I
rubs are
doing?
out?
yeah,
They do not give body massage.
yeah, they did.
We always had to.
Yeah. But
The
now
only
they
thing
don't dare
no-
to.
Hi, how are you? Oh, I gotta go. Well, a lot of it they have like maybe 10. You cannot do patients, in 12 or 15
Yeah.
patients and do it properly, Did you know? Oh, congratulations, Mary.
On what?
I hear you're having twins.
I know.
Next Tuesday and a
The
Friday of the
second
following
Tuesday
week.
of next week.
Are you
Right.
kidding?
No. Second Tuesday of next week.
You know how many kittens are going to come? Or you're getting a new cat?
No.
No,
Oh.
she's having twins.
The second Tuesday of next week.
Okay, what's the...
No, I'm just being polite.
I'm confused.
You didn't take
I was just being polite. I went and I had my
Stop
cat.
betting.
I had a CAT scan done,
Yeah.
and I said I
You were
come
going to
out
have
of there.
kids?
You're having
Yeah,
twins?
and I come out, right? And I come out, and all the people looking at me, oh my God, Tim. She goes, what? She started getting nervous. And then just told me I'm having twins. And they're all looking at me, And I said, you know what the worst part is? I don't even know who the father is.
It's like Norm and
Two
I.
fathers.
Right? The second Tuesday of next week,
Right.
we're going to get married.
Yeah.
The cat?
The second
No,
Tuesday
Mary and I
of
are going
next
to get
week.
married the second Tuesday of next week.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
We actually had a guy
You're
call
gonna
to
be friends
oppose our
to
wedding,
catch
didn't
this.
he?
Cats and dogs, they can have
Yeah.
separate fathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We're
we
gonna
actually.
Frank to catch you.
Okay, pick up two more.
You do.
Okay, two
Mr.
more
and Mrs.
cards.
Yeah. We're
If
doing
I
this for
say
the
the
universe.
second Tuesday of next week,
Right.
what did I say?
Valentine's Day.
No. The
No,
second, the
added
second
second Tuesday
of next week. There's no second
Oh,
Tuesday.
there is no
and any-
second Tuesday.
And you're a poet?
And I
I
catch
guess I really
everybody.
didn't know it. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
You said it with such convincing believability.
Okay,
I had to,
I think this is a really, really important one.
Self-sabotage.
Uh-oh.
Like
So sabotage.
sabotage.
Saboteur. The saboteur.
You think with
Come
a
on,
Mary,
Come
is
on
that
in.
you?
Come
come on.
on in.
Grab
self-sabotage.
plenty
her a
on.
chair. There's a chair right over there.
Yep.
Behind the camera.
Don't walk into the camera, Mary.
No, we don't want to walk
Well,
it down. Self-sabotage.
Yep, come on in.
How many people
There we
will,
go.
without
We'll
realizing
get
it,
this out of your way. Here we go.
Yeah,
Come on in.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on in. Come on
How
in,
many
Maria.
people actually, John, that really
There you
do
go.
hurt ourselves
Thank
without really doing it? They don't, like when this guy wants to, talk about going on and having his own TV show,
Come on,
and
Maria.
if he doesn't do it to me, that's self-sabotage.
No, I'm gonna make the effort.
Okay. And anybody that says,
Like it's
"Oh,
floating.
I know I
Yeah.
can't do it," or, "Oh, this is happening." Let's close that door.
This side,
Oh, this is happening, that's happening, and I can't grow because they're hurting themselves. Yeah. Because they're hurting themselves by not allowing themselves to grow more and by not allowing themselves to be stronger.
What's the root of self-sabotage? Fear, but
Fear of succeeding.
Yeah.
There's no success like failure.
Yeah.
When we had Gonzo, the artist, on, he had a fear of success.
That,
It's a
believe
fear
it,
of
that was
failure.
me.
Yeah.
Because there are times when I'll wake up and say, "Is this
on
real? Is this real? And my bubble gonna pop?" Oh,
we
isn't
go.
that
We'll
cute?
share.
She got her hair cut. She
Looks good.
Thank you.
She feels better.
Oh, and and
Not
wake up,
better
and my
than
bubble
good.
gonna
Yeah.
pop because I'm still learning to let go of yesterday.
Anxiety, yeah.
One of your
You're-
biggest fears.
It paralyzes you.
That's what I was thinking. No matter how.
Good coffee.
Oh, it actually is. And I got
But
it.
that's
Yeah.
like, we all.
Feels like Manstead, the old Manstead Dam, when they used to have 7 people.
Oh yeah.
And we'd all be
Manstead
talking
was
to each
on.
other. Different groups of people.
Yesterday, there was a guy threatening when I was on the Yesterday show one time. I threatened to beat me up outside.
Really?
Yeah.
God.
I remember being
It's unnecessary.
on Joe Lavas's show the first time. Then we went down. He
Who's
said,
that?
"Oh, I don't remember, but just a vague memory I'm drawing up." This is the point when we got outside. This is the point I always thought somebody's going to shoot me.
Yeah. Well, I really was afraid to go out when they said that. There's some guys out there, so I had somebody come and pick me up. By the way, folks, here's my friend Mary Lemay,
Hi.
cruising with Mary.
Hi, Mary.
And when is your show, Mary?
It's next Thursday. That's
tomorrow.
It's this Thursday.
Second
I know.
Thursday this
This
week.
Friday.
Are you
at
still
5 o'clock.
celebrating New Year's?
No,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Friday, Thursday, Mary.
Thursday. I don't know why I want to say that. This Thursday at 5 o'clock. I'm tired.
Okay. And you have a good.
I
Yeah,
really
you must be
enjoy it.
exhausted. You know what? We do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mary is a saint on the earth. If there are angels on earth, Mary Lemay is one of them.
Well, I'm
She
just,
has been
I'm just
over,
a
and she
person
has
that
been
if I can help you, I will.
taking about
Yeah,
It's just,
exactly.
stuff like that.
Well,
And
if I can help you, I will. If you can help me, it
Yes.
works both ways.
Yeah,
Yes.
You know.
well, that's the
Yeah,
way it
yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
Well, we
You
have to
know?
buy chicken for a cat,
Oh my God, yeah. She loves her
and
chicken,
we
my
have
little girl.
we have Mary. What's her last name?
Olivera.
Oliver.
Oliver. You know, Oliver.
Olivera.
Olivera.
Oliver.
Olivera.
Portuguese name.
Like that butter.
Yes,
Olivera.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I found
And-
it. Get
Well,
one.
I like
That's
that.
your
Yes.
You bet we'll do it, Olivera.
Oh, okay.
That's her.
Well,
If
you're
he- if he
Olivera.
doesn't- Yeah.
It must be like Russian, where the ending of the name, masculine and feminine.
And if he doesn't behave, she smacks him around.
No, she ties me up and drags me around by one foot.
Yeah.
To the corner.
Yeah, there you go. And are you using a crack pot? Crock pot?
Yes, we are.
A crackpot.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, we are.
I haven't used one in years.
That's what I
How do you
call
like it?
I know.
It's
For
a
fun.
lot of
Same
fun.
thing.
Like you said, it saves time. You can incorporate more food in like a smaller space, but not that small. It encourages you to eat well, to eat right.
And it
Kind
makes
of.
the house smell better.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's-
it? You know?
No,
It's
yeah.
definitely a plus. I'm glad we listened and that we did it.
I'm gonna.
We
We're
had,
cooking
well,
Friday.
Mary came over a couple
Very
weeks
good-
ago,
it's a
and
good
we
thing.
had a breakfast brunch at night.
Yeah.
No, you were too sick,
No,
you couldn't make
yeah.
it, but I
had
love
one
using my
before,
crock
though.
What can you make in a crock pot?
Everything.
Everything.
Everything, anything
That's-
you want.
You can put a pot
Throw it
roast
on
in there
there.
with
You can do
potatoes,
anything.
you can make a meatloaf, you know.
You can do
And
anything.
if you don't have a stove, you can use a crock pot to make up with it. And you can make diets delight.
It's not a crock you're giving me, are you?
Yep. I have two. We make home. Mary can tell you, I make a lot of homemade stews.
Yeah.
We make
Yeah,
our homemade
stews
You can
are
make
beans.
the
anything
best.
with
And
that.
we make pea soup.
Yeah,
I'm gonna catch a wild cat and make a
Can't believe
barbecue
someone else
cat.
yeah,
likes
I'm gonna be
pea soup.
making some homemade,
Mary might not like
Macaroni.
that.
No, she probably would hate
my niece
about
used to
wild
love
cats?
macaroni.
Aren't they
with,
like squirrels?
Yeah, you know. But you know, a crock pot you
hamburger
can make.
mixed in, what they call that.
You know, a meatloaf. You can make actually a stew. Put biscuits on top of it and cook it that way.
There's something about the way it's shaped, the way it's formed. It's conducive to. You can see it cooking. You know.
Yeah.
You can.
You can see it cooking?
Yeah, you can lift
as
the
opposed
cover
to
off.
opening and closing the oven all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's got a
Yeah,
glass.
because it's accessible.
Yeah, you
And
can
you
lift the
can
cover
kind
up, look
of,
down.
Yeah,
Who does the cooking?
it's pretty even. It's pretty even. Different days we're good at taking turns. I take the garbage out. I'm the king of the garbage.
What a good boy.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
liar.
Did they? Ha! Oh!
I did today and the day before. So
Yes, and then
I'm ahead 3-1, I think, this week.
I shouldn't have.
Now we're
to
gonna
take
argue
it
with
out.
a. I love it.
Garbage
We're
is
gonna
not
argue with a
woman's
garbage.
thing.
I know,
Okay,
see?
now okay. Here's another card. I think is really irrelevant. Balance. Then we're gonna have you doing poll now.
For sure.
Balance.
Balance, yes.
Mary, is your life balanced?
Right now, no.
Well, the twins will balance it.
Yeah. How about? Okay, we need to. Actually, I'm one that's still learning how to balance the negative with the energy. We got to remember we need both. We need a negative
Yeah.
and we need a positive to
Yeah.
learn how to balance our life.
It's not easy.
I know, it's a little bit off.
Mary,
right now.
Mary, your mother is saying, "I love you."
My mother? Which one? Sorry.
Your real mother.
The one that took care of me, I
Right,
presume, as
right.
opposed to. Oh, yeah. I miss her horribly.
And she says that she's sorry she wasn't a better mother to you.
Yeah.
But she did the best she could. with what
Yeah,
she
she
had.
could. It was a generation gap. And so that made it difficult.
Did she sing?
Yeah, she did.
Because I'm hearing a lot of different. Like she tried to be a country western singer or
Yes.
something like that. And
We
she-
had all kinds of those shows when you lived in Maine. They would just be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
we had
attest
some
to that.
funny
She
shows.
is. She's very happy,
I'm glad. She
and she's
deserved it.
actually singing "How Great Thou Art."
How great they were.
Was that one of her favorites?
Yeah,
Was it?
so
Okay.
a lot of
So
the
I am
religious
connected with
things-
her.
Yeah.
Did she wear a cap, a hat?
She wore a hat like one of those. What do you call it? That
Bonnets,
that goes,
yeah.
That goes around. But then she used to like. We used to have to do a lot of lawn mowing and things outside. And of course, Maine is known for mosquitoes, so she'd just take one of those nets and put it. It was funny. It was,
She said she got rid of all her eggs, and now she wants you to.
okay.
Okay, I don't know what that means. Only you know.
You always called her mum.
No,
right?
Mom.
She was
Yeah,
referred to as
I don't know
mum.
why.
She
I-
now finally approves of your husband
Oh, good. About time.
because she didn't want you. You were her baby. She didn't want you to be mistreated.
Well, I don't think she was too fond of my first husband either.
No, she wouldn't. But he grew on her, like
Yeah.
moth grows on a tree.
Yeah.
You know. And also, she says you finally listen to people when they tell you so much. A crock pot person.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you know,
Getting better. Getting better.
I have. I don't have gas heating, but Mary can tell you, I pretty well set up in my apartment. I have one of those ovens that you can put to hot plate. There's a hot plate built on top of it, and we can make a
That's
pizza
nice.
out of it, and that's really nice. You know, because I won't use gas in my house.
I'm trying not to make excuses. The fact I work third shift, like you can't have normal eating patterns. You know. So.
Yeah, it does make it difficult.
But is it normal for you? Scott, I eat when Scott and I are there. Scott eats just before he goes to bed at night, so I'm spoiled. He brings my breakfast, my meal into. I watch
He does.
TV.
He
and
really
Very
does.
nice.
I am very spoiled.
Yeah.
But I eat at my time. He eats just before he goes to bed. And then when I love it when Mary and all the people like my daughter-in-law. Boy, do I miss her coming over every other day. Because we always cook a big meal.
That pencil pusher.
Yeah, we play Scrabble. And we played a quick game before you guys go.
Play board
Yeah.
games.
Well, one of the things I want you to do, if you've never tried, Jimmy, now they don't even know I'm doing this, and they're not paying me. Well, they should, but you know what? They recognize you. You haven't been there a long time, right?
Yeah,
Didn't they recognize you?
Oh yeah, I haven't been there since. Oh my God.
How long have they been there?
Since
Many
63.
years.
Oh, because my
I would say
sister
it
lived
was
there.
close to maybe
years.
8, maybe 9 months, maybe even a year.
Well, I haven't been there for
Yeah,
4 years, and they
right.
recognize who I was.
They
They
do.
always would say to me, "You need your doggy burgers." I always got doggy burgers. I had the
really?
dog, and I
Oh,
was
nice.
playing doggy burgers
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
dogs. And I said, "Not anymore." And I said, "Not done." You know what? They felt bad.
Yeah. They're great people, they really are.
They
And
really are.
They
They
were
got
saying
shafted.
coming back, we were coming back, and we had stopped on the highway, and they said, "Where can we get a sub or something? A good place? You know a good place?" The only place I know, I said, that I know, I said, would be Jimmy's. It's one of the best around. So that's where we went.
And you get your money's worth.
Oh my God, do you?
That's important.
You could. I love gyros. I mean, it was enough there for 3 people on that.
Wow.
Portions of food.
Is there any
Packs it
place
right-
in Manchester that's really good with their subs? I mean,
Restaurants in New York. they're
we've
always
been
good
to
for-
Moe's. Is it Moe's? Sorry,
that's a
Sub, what's
chain.
it-
promoting you. You were
Small
great.
chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been the most. That's another foot. Depends on
Who's there?
the one up on near the circle. That's his. He's Portuguese.
Oh, really?
And it's one
It's
in
here for the
Portsmouth. It
Portuguese.
used to be.
Yeah.
They don't put lettuce on your
Used to be
grinder
the old
anymore.
gas lantern up there.
It's been a long time since.
Yeah. But we make our own too. Mary, just to let you know, we're going to be having a cold meat grinder night, so we'll invite you and
Yeah,
we'll
that's
have you
good.
guys come over.
Yeah, you make your own
It's everything
pizza
on it.
sometimes? I used to do it, yeah. My father would do that, you know.
And you know what you're getting when you make yourself.
Well, certainly, yeah.
And that's part of learning how to be balancing. Notice how this fits right into what I'm
Right.
doing, and learns how to balance. Balance is so important in us, I've been taking, and I've got a lot of extra energy, and I haven't been falling asleep like I usually do. I've been taking my medication, which I hate, and I think I'm going to throw it away.
Oh,
But I've been taking vitamin B and vitamin E.
it's helping.
Yeah, and I actually am more alert. And
Good, good.
I don't sit on the couch and all of a sudden pop over,
I
Yeah,
do that.
I just bought vitamin E and the vitamin D high strength because
Right.
I'm always lacking on the vitamin D
Right.
during the wintertime.
Yeah, and if you got apples, eat them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's so many to choose from too.
Yeah. I think I'm getting into the kick of eating oranges. I like
They're
oranges.
expensive. I used to
Yeah.
eat
Yeah,
them when I had
they
more money.
they are. Fruit has
Well,
gotten.
of course, they're not California oranges either.
Well, the California, I don't know where some of the oranges come from. They do have California oranges at Hannaford.
But nothing like a fresh off the tree.
Some in Florida, too. I
Used to
guess.
be able to just go
for
pick
that.
it off.
Oh, yeah,
in
the
your
great-
yard. They'd be small.
Oh,
This
yeah.
time of year sounds like a good idea.
But anyway, back into balancing, folks. What in your life is discord? What in your life is disordered? What in your life is not helping you to balance? Are you dwelling on the things that on what happened yesterday? Let it go. You can't change it.
5 minutes ago.
You can't change yesterday. It's already
Yesterday
happened.
is dead and gone.
How's that going now?
And tomorrow.
Tomorrow's out of sight.
There we go. Let's sing.
I wasn't ready.
Now
Help
nobody
me
knows
make
the
it
through the
Help me
night.
make it through the night.
Who sang that? Somebody. Anybody?
Willie Nelson had the big hit, but Chris
Yeah.
Christopherson.
Yeah,
Right?
I love that.
yeah.
Yesterday is dead and
You know the
gone.
one thing
He's
I
never
hated
done
that
anything.
Georgia
I don't
on
like
my
Chris
mind.
I have
Christopherson.
them.
Oh,
Did
Willie
Willie
write
Nelson
that?
ruined that. No,
And
he sang it, but he
he's,
ruined
Who
it.
wrote that?
Road
That's so
again.
famous.
His father was
So
a
good to be
singer.
back on the road again.
Yeah,
What do you do?
that's on my phone.
Oh, really?
We are going to hear another poem.
I have one that sings.
You have what that sings?
Hank Williams, junior or senior?
You have what?
You got
I
the
thought you was talking
junior?
about the
Yeah,
twins.
Bring it in. He sings all
Every
kinds
Tuesday.
of. He sings about 15 different
Cat?
country songs.
One of your cats?
Cat, he should be
No.
on the show.
No, one of them.
singing
I have what do they call him? I just said it.
A statue.
Oh,
Hank Williams
Hank
Jr.
Williams Jr.
Yeah, I have a Hank Williams. He actually froze to death. Hank Williams Sr.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
29 years old in the back of a Cadillac.
And with alcohol.
He drank a bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
And chloral hydrate.
My God.
You know, that's a lot. That's talking about a lot of the people cannot handle their success.
We had spinal bifida,
Yeah.
so his spine was open, so he's lived in constant pain.
Yeah.
He made a lot of money for his family.
Oh, yeah.
And he married Miss Audrey with the red hair.
That was his, yeah. But then he had a second wife, and he had an illegitimate daughter, too,
Oh, really?
who now got half the royalties.
You're cheating hard. We'll tell on you.
You'll cry and cry the whole night through,
Nobody
but sleep won't come.
Nobody
Don't
can
tell him,
yodel like Hank.
I know. Mike is hearing me. I'm
Mike,
in
are you
trouble.
listening?
Yeah. If my son hears it, he'll be calling me and saying, "Don't sing."
I like your bling.
I'm sorry.
You're playing?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. My son gave that to me.
It's the only word I know that's like
Yeah.
modern, I guess.
When it's time for Jen to
Okay.
do a poem,
Okay, I'll give you my number. I'm sorry.
then
Do a
I'll have
phone.
to shut my
You like
mouth.
my
That's all right.
That's cute.
Now, he isn't the, you weren't the country singer, are you? 'Cause I was on when you had a
Just wanted to
country singer
advertise.
once.
No, that's not.
Right. He was an
You're thinking
interesting
of Dick
person.
Wynn.
Right. He was a fascinating
How,
guy.
how is Dick Wynn doing? Have you heard? He's
What is
engaged.
Dick Wynn?
He's engaged.
I heard he's getting married.
Oh. So maybe kind of a double ring. What's a double ring ceremony?
When you and I, if
Well,
Mary and I
people
are going
wear
to
rings.
get married, we're doing a double ring ceremony.
Where you put a ring on her finger and she puts one through
Yeah.
your nose?
Yeah.
Yes, basically.
And then she has a hook to make it go through.
As you
songs.
know.
Yeah. Hey, I'm having fun. I don't know about anybody else.
Oh, no. it's
Okay,
fine.
Your hair looks good, by the way. Who did it for you?
I spent more than I should have, but
no, you deserve it.
no, he
So
said,
right across the street.
yeah, because I've been feeling
Give it,
down.
if you feel, if they did it, you like it, give them a free
I-
rep.
yeah.
Go ahead, give them a name of who they
Hey, I did my own hair.
Oh my god,
Perfect.
I forgot what the name of it is.
You got it all.
It's the one that's
Not always.
right across the street. It's in the
Right inside with the, you know, you
The
go
plaza.
to the post office.
Well, then
yeah.
come to you, give them a
Oh,
shout.
right across the street?
You mean
Yes.
the Bedford Post Office?
Yes.
No.
Right here, John.
Yes.
Oh,
where
okay.
the- Yes. It's
There's
a
right-
little
it's like
salon.
right, almost
Off the
across from the post office. They're great. The people there are great.
They've been
So-
here for years.
Just don't say the
Yes,
price,
they
but if
have.
you think of that, name that shit.
I've
I
gone
will.
here before.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
That thick, all that pages?
It'll go quick. How much time do we have?
We're not going to tell you.
2 minutes.
It's on both. It's on both sides.
You're kidding? Only 2 minutes? Really?
Well, the attention span of your average American is only 3 minutes.
No, you're fine.
Okay. This I wrote.
No, you don't have to do
Okay,
that.
I'm sorry. This I wrote. I was inspired by
You
recently
don't-
when I'm cruising with Mary, her show,
Microphone, too.
consecutive, you know, a series of few weeks. But we always talk about pets, cats, love for pets and cats. And I thought, in tribute to our younger days, when we all watched cartoons and animation and Wile E. Coyote, et cetera, this is called Mrs. Birdie's Cat. Man versus
For
cat.
you.
So that's Mary. It's
That's
mostly
me.
for you.
That's for you. It's gonna be tomorrow night.
And-
But
But you know what? You walk in their house, you would never know she had a cat.
That's
Oh.
I know one guy has 2 cats, and you can't even walk by their house.
No, you don't smell my cat.
That's all right. Mrs. Birdie's cat. Oh, Mrs. Birdie, can I have a word with you? Oh, let the games begin. One of these nights I'm gonna win. The midnight air is cool and bebopping alive. I'm fixed upon my nemesis with her sparkling double dares, nearly making me blind. It's a Saturday night at that. There should be better ways to spend my time, but it's a matter of principle, and that cat has stole my morning paper for the last time.
cat steals her paper.
Oh, she yawns but never seems to sleep, and I follow suit, but I don't blink. I can't afford to do that, not in my private war with Mrs. Birdie's cat. Oh. You see her in the window, looking glamorous and embodying a million strings and sirens of elegance, yet such a fat chance that that clever feline could be interested in anything of mine. Still, people, I got a tale to tell, and I believe it to be true. For the last 5 days, this staring contest has gone on, and I've done nothing but lose. Oh, meow yourself. I'm ready tonight. I'm ready tonight. Let's go, Miss Kitty. Let's go. And if you grin, I won't break. What do you think? What do you think of that, Mrs. Birdie's cat? So we slowly stare. Her eyes hardly budge, and I'm holding my own, but not by much. You're not gonna give me any more despair, and just for spite tonight, I left my paper sitting down there. So she twinkles her spotted nose. Inside my Ferris wheel choir about justifiable rhymes. My confidence is building, thinking I've got her this time. So we trace off our mental telepathy thrust. Our hearts beating together. It's the fact that I'm right, in which I trust. That she changes the color of her eyes, and I go all silly saying, "What? Whoa, look at that!" And I blink. Oh, she beat me again. That Mrs. Birdie's cat. So I hold my head just for a second, but quickly I know. I've got to move, get to the front door, down the stairs, but when I do, still somehow she beat me there. With her double paws, just like that. Oh, dear Lord, my paper's gone, my footprints everywhere, no footprints anywhere. I wonder if they're working together, but what am I going to do about that? This is one truly tricky rabbit, that Mrs. Birdie's cat. So now I sit by the river, reading my store-bought paper at that. The roots of reasoning speaking ever loudly. That's all, let it be. Don't ever try to compare with the dark side of a spoiled feline trying to take you for a ride. I just had to get on with my life, not waste any more time. But what kept repeating so very picturesque was that Furball's double-pawed victory pause. Her eyes all lit up and thrilled. So once again, I was back to the drawing board. I had to outfit that Mrs. Birdie's cat. Before I went to war, I just wanted to express to the heavens how once I saw that feline in a different light. So we rose, so we go, and to cats everywhere, I did recite. To Mrs. Birdie's cat. Still is a chilling sensation. Textured coat coating humanity to care and caress. Her endless request. Her waterfall with a tail swipe of elation. Come to me, dear human, soon. You'll be giving me a belly rub. Your best heart songs and an extra bowl of my favorite Friskies. Yes, for a caveman, you're all right. Oh, sensory perceptions. I order them like candy in a sugar patch. I've got it, that's all. Don't you want me to adore you? Yes, I've got the keys to the throne, the private island, and you got me. I'm such a precious sight.
I got you, babe.
So let's live together. I'll be your confidant. I'm extra smart, forever cool, and I can purr like a gentle winds. Lifting your spirit, so please, dear human, get my water dish. My nails are still drying, and my affection and my afternoon journey into Kitty Eden has been so very special, since I was crowned queen of the most elegant cats.
That's me.
Oh, do you think it's always a picnic living with Miss Birdie? Well, it isn't. I'll give you the lowdown on that. But really, I'll be there for you, too. Just don't roam too far. My legs were waxed yesterday. That's a fact. So I let my poem to all the fellows drift out to sea. A karma cruise it would be. And it was Mrs. Birdie I had to see. A rap-a-tap, a knock upon that door, then 50 times more. Finally, Miss Birdie came, cat in arms. Yes, appeared so innocently at the door. I began to raise my voice, but she looked so fragile and faint, and like a painting of some better man's love. So I just say, "Hi, Mrs. Birdie. Hi. I'm thinking about a cat myself. They are expert felines at that. They know when we're sick, when we can't stroke their every hair. Make no mistake, we should be kind to all animals." Yes, Mrs. Birdie, you're right. Then the world would be all that. Yes, I agree, Mrs. Birdie. So if you can excuse me now, I gotta get back to what I wasn't sure. wasn't sure, as I went off to buy a paper, my nerve pills, and my monthly issue of the Psychiatry of Cats. Oh, Mrs. Birdie, can I have a word with you? I want you to stop by and see my latest acquisition. It's a real surprise, Mrs. Birdie. You're going to love this. You're going to love this despite everything you've done to me. You've opened my eyes, and now I really see. Yeah, you're right. This little ankle biter can be quite feisty. And I even heard he's a tad bit noisy. And they like to read, too. And we're going to have such good times. Oh, Mrs. Birdie, can I have a word with you? That's it.
That was very good.
Yeah. You
And you,
ended up.
and you did it in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Do it.
That was cute.
That was very
Okay.
good.
I tried.
How do you get your inspirations?
From the depths of traveling around when I was I think I told Johnny this is
It was you.
seriously happy or sad,
Told him.
silly or goofy, trying to be touch base with everything life means. From the time I was about 12 to 17, I think I told you when we first met, my father was on his gambling sprees, and we always had to move. And I couldn't understand life. I was trying to figure everything out. I was sitting in small towns, missing Long Beach in New York. I knew nobody around me except my own family. But my younger brothers were crying, and they were all distraught, including my mother. So I figured I was told by my 5th grade teacher I had an ability to write, but she would always have me write things for the class and stuff. So I said, this is my outlet. This is my thing. This is besides faith, this is going to be my ace in the hole, so to speak. So I vowed to myself that I was going to listen to people. I mean, we mostly learn from just listening to people and what they say and listening to people talk. You gather ideas, you gather thoughts, you pick up seeds and inklings of what could be an idea. So I think since that time, that's why, and that's what I do. And if you do it long enough, I'm sure John's written. If you do it long enough, it becomes part of your jib, just something.
Second nature.
Second nature. It
It
happens
is.
automatically. You don't realize it, and I know. Like every time I've sat here in this room, I don't see it now, but 2 days from now, I'm going to remember something, and it becomes a poem. So you just. I basically made a vow to myself that this was going to be my way of coping. Help me to cope. Help me to grow. Help me not to.
So you don't snack around and lock
No,
the
no,
door and push
I-
you down the stairs?
No,
don't do that, no.
I notice with him, like, I can tell when he's, like, really frustrated, and he'll go and start writing. It's a release
I reach
for
for
him.
this as you would
That's
reach
good.
for.
Yeah.
Might read for a
So
book
reach
or a
for my
novel or somebody goes to play tennis. It's just
What do you do for an outlet, Mary? You gotta pull that mic over towards you a little more.
Oh. Sadly, cigarettes, coffee.
I'm not going to oppose it because if it works for you and it keeps you calm,
That's
cool,
right.
and
Whatever
collected.
works for somebody. It doesn't
Well,
work for
as I said,
everybody.
I'm disappointed because I quit for 3 years, and then I just had an
She did.
absolutely horrible experience, and it
completely
just
quit, and then she.
You talking about coffee?
no
Oh,
cigarettes.
cigarettes.
And I started like with one a week. And then it's very hard. Anybody who's out there trying to quit smoking,
My daughter-in-law.
it's
I had to quit
very
twice.
hard. And it's hard to stay away from it.
Well,
It
that-
is, because
yeah.
you start one, you
yeah.
start two, and then
I recommend anybody, if you want to give
I
up
want one
smoking,
now.
I would recommend hypnosis.
Yeah, Matt
I told you
Connerton.
about how I tried that, and the woman left me alone in a room, and I turned around, and I'm like, I thought she was gonna be there, It was like a visual thing, where I had to see. But she left the room. I'm like,
Nah, they don't.
I walked out of there, and I was like, I paid how much for this?
When I hypnotize, I do complex regressions.
Yeah, this was not a face-to-face thing.
No,
It
so you
just-
have to do that.
yeah.
When Matt, we did it, he sat there and I sat here. Well, we went around, they hypnotized. I felt like when a big whale blimped, my belly all up there, my arms are relaxed, and I'm all blimping out, And just in case it didn't work now, I had bought a brand new pack of Marlboros, which had to buy the best.
Yeah.
And I bought a brand new lighter.
Yep.
And I went down, And and I said, what am I doing? I'm defeating my purpose.
Yeah.
And there was this one guy, I'll never forget it. He was picking up cigarette butts off the ground.
Yes.
And I walked over to him. I said, "Here, these are for you, and here's a lighter." Then I gave him, and he said, "Oh, you got any change?"
Of course. It's never
And I
enough.
looked at him. I said, "I just gave you,
A
pack of
$7,
cigarettes,
$6
your
pack
last
of
cigarette.
cigarettes.
Then I gave him $1 bill. He said, "Got any more?" And that's when I stopped giving. And I found them more, and it's so sad to see these people sitting out there bundled up. But there's a lot of places out there they can go to.
Yeah.
Joe, you want to grab another? You want these or these?
You want me to do it or
Let's
your guess?
let's go down and have one. All
Yeah.
right, Mary, grab me a card. We're gonna grab for the people.
You want to get it for
Feel the deck in your hands before you. Oh, she just wants the top card.
Okay, then we'll pass it down to the other Mary. Beyond the veil.
Oh.
Ah, she's going to shuffle them.
Tell
Beyond
us
the
a-
veil.
Tell us about how you did not want to be a nun.
Actually, beyond the veil is a lot of people don't realize that we're all born with a certain amount of veils
Right.
with us.
Veil.
Right, and
job
it's like
for
a veil
you.
of protection to take care of everybody.
Yeah, that
You
was
know,
fun.
Yeah.
beyond the veil. I was born with 3 veils.
Here you go.
Okay.
Can you slide it over? And then this is the card.
Okay.
I know why I wasn't a nun, but that's not.
Beyond
we can't
the
talk
veil.
about
Protestant?
that.
And also, folks, beyond the
'Cause I
veil
was
can be
impressed.
very different. You know how women wear the veil when they're going down getting married? I never understood that. Why do you? They already see you. You got tons and tons of makeup on. You know.
I don't know. I went down to City Hall to get married, but we didn't have a divorce decree, so
I went
I'm
to
still unmarried.
my first marriage was in California. It was by a JP. She was 64, and I was 18.
Oh yeah, that's
She had
like my
money.
Uncle
She
Red.
was, yeah. And then the second one lasted 30 days.
Did she give you a Cadillac or a nice
No,
car?
she went to Acapulco. When she came back, she caught me with somebody else. So I couldn't take care of that.
You blew it.
I would have been wealthy today.
Yeah.
And I got married in the Catholic Church. And I got married in the Congregational Church. And the funny part, when I went to get my Catholic marriage annulled, they told me that I had been married so many times that they couldn't annul it. I said, well, I was going to give you $25,000. You would have seen them coming out with the paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pay for it and all.
Yeah. Here. I go, no, since I have to pay for it, And I can remember when I got married to my last ex-wife, and we had my beautiful son, and the born-again Christian says, you know what, you're not married. I go, well, not? I go, oh, no, because you got married, because you've been married more times than one, and God says united only when that born-again Christian type thing, And so I said, you're telling me that my son is illegitimate? Well, yeah, according to God. I said, he didn't tell me that.
Nope.
No, he's not.
And Mary can tell you, I have a terrific son. He's very devoted to me, and I'm devoted to him. And Mary is his aunt. You're his aunt.
Yes.
Okay. So when we have a cookout, Mary can come over. And my daughter-in-law will not eat carrots.
Really at the cookout.
Why not?
We really do. So
She
much
hates
food
carrots.
going around.
Oh, that's
But
odd.
when Mary makes them, she'll eat them.
Yes.
Yep.
Could I do it the French
We
way?
will have you come to one of my cookouts.
You wanna make
Yeah,
probably
carrots?
come
I
to
carrots.
haven't
That'd
been
be great,
to
yeah.
one in so long. That would be great.
Mary, you'll come pick them up, and we have. And if you leave here without
money.
filling your
We'll give you
plate
some
up
money for gas.
to take home with
We
you,
don't
that's
go
your own
anywhere.
I'm
fault.
hungry already.
Yeah.
I don't eat enough food. Doesn't the marriage have to be an equal yoke? I just want to say that.
No.
No?
Get a
An
glass
equal
of
what?
that.
Equal yoke. Isn't
No.
that
No
I'm the
comment.
boss of my marriage.
Yeah, I got it.
No, actually, the wife's were.
Several of those.
I think because I think one of the reasons why I
Isn't the
got
key? The wife's always right. Yeah.
In any
Well-
team of animals, there's always the dominant
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe I got divorced because I don't like kissy, hugging. Ugh. I think kissing is the most disgusting thing in the world.
Oh,
Smooching.
it's more intimate. I think it's more intimate than the other thing.
No, not me.
I love kissing.
Swapping tongues.
I
Ugh.
don't mind hugging.
No, hugging. I
Hugging
am
and
not.
kissing.
Is that a
Me,
New England
man.
thing? I don't like being touched.
No, I
Right
don't
on
like-
south,
yeah, I
everybody
don't
wants to
like
touch
being
you and hug
Don't
you.
hug somebody that
Yeah,
my mother
I
used to
hug
do.
quick goodbye and that's it. Get the hell out of my door. And I think
I
actually will chase
love
a
a
channel
I
if it's
lived
too
with my
kissy.
mother.
Really?
Yeah, I find it
Well,
disgusting.
until my hair turned color.
Well, here's another one. This is the one that Mary gave. A time to soar.
Okay.
That's a nice one.
And time to soar. In other words, pull back yesterday. You learned from it. You learned from yesterday. Now, throw away the mistakes and learn and soar to your highest level. Soar to your highest potential. Soar, ladies and gentlemen. Soar. Like now they're using a crock pot, which just makes it feel better. You're going to say money. And, and soar, like you're a hard-working man. I see you're getting a pay raise.
I did.
Did you? Okay. And I see you actually getting more hours if you want them.
I'm not sure that I do. I mean, the money's good, but actually, no, that's not true either.
She has so many things happen on her job.
I think the one thing I realized yesterday is how much I hate my job.
Okay, now this is what you're going to do.
Yes, I have to soar somewhere else.
Well, no. Find the good things about your job.
I'm
It's
sorry.
better than unemployment.
Yes, it is.
And
It's
you
your
got a
time.
paycheck.
Yes.
And most of the kids are pretty good. Won't you?
Yes.
Remember, you're on the TV.
Yeah.
This is a record.
Yeah. I'm
No,
only
I
kidding, folks.
understand.
You wouldn't do that. But the kids respond to you, don't they?
Oh, yes.
Is that more
Yeah, they
bureaucracy?
do.
Yeah,
Oh, well, do people don't know what she does? Do they?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're not going to say it.
Oh.
But if you look at the positive energy from it, it's helping you to pay your bills.
Mhm.
Helping you to slap your husband around once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. As
Well,
long as
I think this is going to help because, like as we said, we're looking right now for another place to live, and we
Still-
can afford something better and higher because of what we make.
right.
And that,
Write
that,
that all out.
huh?
Write it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
See which list is big. Don't you do 2 pros and cons?
Absolutely. Well, Mary, I'm telling you, I'm a fanatic with people writing the pros and cons. Like with yourself, like when you write about who you are. Write all your negative about yourself, write all the positive about yourself.
Yeah.
And all the negative just working into be the positive. It's not, it's very easy
Well said. Yeah.
to write out the negative energy.
That's just
It's
it.
the hard
Yes.
part is to bring in the positive,
I'm
I
gonna
had
have
one
to
girl,
ask
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Can you come up with
Maybe he
something?
can write a poem.
Man,
That's
there you go.
true.
I try to be
About
a
all
decent
my
sounding board,
positives.
but I don't know. Without exposing the nature of her job, it's like it's difficult
It is.
because I don't know how much you can say, but
No, we won't discuss that.
yeah.
One of the things I will tell you now, I really want you, when you get home and you're frustrated,
Mhm.
grab a pad of paper.
I have a journal on the computer that I've been like.
No.
Papers, the writing on paper
Oh, that's
is much
right. The
different.
physical of
You gotta-
like.
and
actually-
and if you misspell the word, don't change it.
No, just
Because
let it come, right?
I don't know how I ever graduated from college. I'm not a good speller.
No,
You
me
know.
neither.
Neither was I.
Good thing I got
But,
the computer.
I-
But,
That's the one thing I got.
no matter
See
what
my
you're
handwriting.
writing down, don't change the wording. Don't change it, because you're actually the spirit is helping you.
Yeah.
Have you ever? Anybody here ever done spiritual writing?
No. I know. what
Does
that is.
tequila, 12 shots of tequila
Yes.
count?
Well, I've done that.
But
have you ever
spirit
done-
writing, like Georgie Yates, is what Yates' wife
Yeah.
wrote,
Yeah.
spirit
Have you
writing.
ever done spiritual writing?
I write poems specifically designed to be prayers. That's the closest
No,
I've come.
This
spiritual writing when
is-
you allow your hand to write for you.
Oh,
when
no,
you're
no.
writing to someone. When
No,
you're,
Something
when you're
comes
writing
into
something.
you.
Yeah. Like, do you have an extra
Spirits.
paper and pen?
I'm sure he does.
I don't know if I have a pen though.
Oh, and I don't have a pen either.
I don't have a pen.
Yeah, we're
Well,
all sitting here.
we'll,
We're all
we'll,
sitting
we'll,
here,
we'll
nobody
write it in
has-
blood.
There you go.
Yes, stick your finger.
I need a
No, I
pen.
gotta have one. I usually carry one with me.
Scott, you got
No,
a pen?
don't have one.
This is what you use. You use plain paint. Oh, you got writing on here.
I do. Oh.
Oh, that's all right. It's just because this is stuff that you need.
See,
That's
he
all right.
just does so much.
Yeah.
I got blank paper.
Is that red one? It's not gonna come up very bright, but
Usually, whenever you do it though, at home, you white paper, like blank paper.
yes,
Okay. Thank you.
because it's pure too.
Okay. This is good. If the spirit comes through, and what this is it writes out a letter for you.
Mine probably come out like a chimp.
That's a typewriter.
Yeah.
Chimps.
Okay, what it's saying, this is
That's
what
true.
it translated into, the wording here, and this is all the language sign. It's like,
You have gift by writing.
Yeah.
Turn back. Do
And-
not turn back, go forward.
yeah.
Forward. And you have,
Practice that. Haven't you done it before, haven't you, Mary?
What's that?
Handwriting by the Spirit? No? Okay.
No.
You come over and I'll show you how sometime. I'm going to be giving classes on it. You know. Have you ever done it, John?
No,
No? Practice.
I'll try.
Yeah. You know, we all have gifts and talent. Yours is poetry.
thank you.
Okay.
I say I have a passion for it.
Mine was verbal.
I'm always learning.
Verbal. Yeah. Sometimes you get carried away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know.
No. One of the things that I am going to do, folks, I'm going to bring my computer, my laptop, and we'll get a hold of you. And we're going to set to park and we'll do a Facebook show down there.
That would be cool.
Sure, I'll be there.
Yeah, and Mary, you can come and sit with us, you know. And we'll interview the homeless.
Thank
I've
you.
done that. I've already started that.
That could
The
be very
stories
intense.
that you get from some people, it's pitiful.
They won't go to the shelter. They won't
I've
go
done
to
it. I've done it.
the AIDS because of the.
I got
And the agency,
stories
they're
from
too-
people that's it'll hurt your heart.
Yeah.
Find out why they're not. A lot of them not homeless because they want to be homeless.
No.
It's a situation that got them into it.
You can keep that.
Oh, thank you.
One of the things that I've been homeless, but I've been fortunate not to have to sleep out on the ground. I actually won my case when I was homeless. And, I've been without lights. I've been without heat. We've been through it. You know what? And if people really, and I'm a firm believer in this, if people really truly want to get their life organized, they can. I don't mean by going to an agency if they're not going to help you. No, I know a lot of people that go to the New
Yeah.
Horizon. It's like going to the New Horizon. It's like going into a concentration camp.
Well, you know, that you always hear the politicians saying, "Oh, there's help for everybody," but as a veteran, there's very little help in the state of New Hampshire.
Really?
The legal aid doesn't help. Our one law school doesn't help. It's almost like a farce, you know.
And
But they have a little, and there's stuff, but they get to pick and choose. And if you never hear from them, but it's cover for the politicians. And a lot of these agencies, you know, they're former politicians with a nice salary. That's not to say that, you know, they don't do good.
Yeah.
One of the agencies, which was terrible for veterans, did great for people with Alzheimer's, like my mother. But, you know, it's a joke about veterans, particularly in this state.
when I was down and out and I lost everything, you know,
Yep.
and I went to the New Horizon, I'm sure hopefully they changed it. I'm talking like 25 years ago. And I went in, I sat there, and my appointment was at 1 o'clock, and she didn't come in until like 25 after 1.
Right. Well,
And so I'm sitting there, she came in, and she, well, here we go, we only got 15 to 20 minutes. I go, wait a
That'll solve your problem, right?
minute. Yeah, I said, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be here from 1 to 2. You come in late, and I have to leave in 15 minutes. Well, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, absolutely it is. I said, you're collecting the money but to help me, but you know what? I'm not going to waste your time anymore.
No, 15 minutes would not solve
I wrote
anybody's
a-
problem.
a really nasty letter to the editor.
Oh, the old union leader?
Yeah, I can't believe how the union leader has changed. Nikki and William Lowe would turn over in their
Yeah, Nacky. Yeah, it's almost dead. I don't see
Yeah,
it's
it was so bad, you know.
Shouldn't feel like they have all the strings and you have no, you know.
Well, the people I've dealt with are okay, but what can you do when they don't have anything to give you?
Yeah.
And most of it is just a smokescreen. I don't know what it's like. I haven't been homeless,
No,
but a lot of
Mary
people
has.
don't
Yeah.
like the situation they find themselves.
There's one with Nikki Loeb. They have
That way right
you
there.
can take it, it's called the First Amendment. And it's
Oh,
really,
Nacky Loeb, the
I
First
took that one
Amendment.
up with Nacky Loeb. And anybody, I took it, anybody
Yeah, the
can
courses up
Yeah,
at, yeah.
yeah, it's called the
Industrial
First-
Drive.
And let me
there.
For
tell
some
you,
reason, I
things that
can't
you
get
wouldn't
in there.
believe.
Really?
Yeah. You wouldn't believe that what they ask you, and then you have to look it up.
What do you mean?
They ask you questions, and then you either look it up the book or go to the. In fact, I didn't have a computer back then, so I used to go to the library and look things up.
Yeah.
And I bought, books, law books, to find out what they wanted. I was one of the top 10 with them
Oh,
that
okay.
graduated.
I went to the library one time and I was going to read the newspaper,
Mary.
and I'll never forget it. I was so embarrassed. And they said to me, "Sir, you can't be in here." I go, "Why?" "Well, if you're going to be homeless, you have to be over here, sitting over here, and you can't use the bathroom." I said, "First of all, I'm not homeless.
Right.
Second of all, if I want to use the bathroom, I will." And she said, "I am." There was like a security guard or whatever. She said, "I'm the boss here." I said, "Then I am going to sue you. Because I have a right. It's a public library, it's open to everybody,
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
you know." I said, "Have I done something to disrupt anybody?" No. Well, I said, "Excuse me a moment." I got a hold of my friend who's a civil rights lawyer out of New York. And I talked to her, and she talked to, but I never went back again. You know, freedom of the First
Indignant.
Amendment is being, people. You got to realize this: you have constitutional rights that you need to stand up and fight for, so that you cannot lose them. It's up to you. I don't know why I'm getting political today, but that's okay.
Wow, this is abstract.
Yeah. But the one thing is, don't allow anybody to infringe on your privacy. I
Just
don't
all you
care
have
who
to do
they
is
are.
look it up, because you got over
Amen
100
to that.
First Amendment rights.
Yeah.
And I got a little over 100, and I can look it up.
Who played the piano that passed?
I had an aunt that
Okay.
did, my Aunt Mary.
Did she play like "Roll out the barrel,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
we'll have a barrel of fun"?
Yeah.
Paint
My
Chihuahua,
grandmother's
we got
sister.
the blues on the run.
For everybody under a certain age, those are called polkas.
That's right. I used to love the
The
polka.
polka.
That was before my time.
Ah, well,
But some old aunts, they still like their polkas.
I took lessons when I was a little kid.
did you play classical?
They start you off with trying to play chopsticks and
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
And
dun,
you're
dun, dun,
exposed
dun,
a little
dun,
bit to-
dun, 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 dun.
bits and pieces of the classics, but then they try to get you to play your school school alma mater. Mary Had a Little Lamb, which I use in a skit.
I have a question.
That was your
for you.
school alma mater?
Mary Had a Little Lamb, yes.
I have a comment on that,
Christmas
but I'm on
songs.
TV, so I have a comment on that, but I'm on TV, so I can't say it.
But you have to sit. You sit.
How can Mary have a lamb?
Oh, you mean the biblical conception?
No. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, the lamb was
it
Jesus.
was the
right?
sacrifice. Yeah, it's supposed to be a
No,
sacrifice.
I haven't.
She was a farmer, and she had lambs.
Yeah, hello,
Yes.
Richard.
I didn't know. I didn't know it was
I know
real.
this, of course.
Yeah,
Of course, this is a
staff,
joke
and
here,
her
eh?
lamb followed her everywhere.
Right.
Not
I
to
stopped
be-
going to
That's-
church when my
Not to be-
grandmother died. It was Protestant. My mother was Catholic. It took me 40 years to realize why I never went back.
Yeah.
My mother was
But I
going to
had
go
lambs.
take us to
Mary.
the Protestant church.
Both Marys.
Although that is faith.
You don't have to
Your
talk about Mary.
names are very blessed.
Nope. Yes.
The angels have blessed you with that name. I also, people don't
My mother
realize
gave it
this,
to me.
but you have already been chosen the name before you come here. They
Jon.
they
It's
nicely
unique.
allow us as parents to think we named the child.
Well, my problem is my mother named me Mary Ellen.
Right.
I
From,
dropped that by the time I got to high school. It just disappeared. I
Everybody's
could-
Mary. So,
Yeah, I
Well-
couldn't stand it. But the problem was, what I didn't like is my mother had 2 miscarriages. She already had the name picked out for the kids, the girls. She knew she was going to have girls. I was the 3rd Mary Ellen. I was the one that lived.
That's not uncommon.
But that's kind of, I find it kind of spooky because I'm like,
Well, it would have been if you you were triplets and you absorbed the 2 others. Because I knew
Yes.
a guy who absorbed his
Yeah, who was
twin.
that sports player that had all these kids named after him? George?
Oh, George
Yes,
Foreman.
George
Make everybody
Foreman.
George.
It's
Yeah,
a
all those
lot.
kids,
I
George.
know,
3,
with Mary.
4.
Yeah.
Why not, huh? I mean, you know, I was reading about the royal family, Harry being my 20th cousin, which isn't that special because that means 5 million other people. And they said once, the BBC, once Meghan named the kid Archie, which is nothing, because they all have like 4, 5, 6 names, like all the dynastic names. You knew there was going to be trouble.
Don't you think that Andrew, when he left the power, no longer part of run, left with a healthy sum of money?
I don't know.
I'm sure he didn't walk away poor.
I think Prince Charles is going to help him.
Prince Charles is rich. He gets a certain amount of money from the entire Cornwall. He's the Duke of Cornwall.
Yes.
Well,
He gets something like a tithe from everybody.
Andrew would never become king because Charles' children will become.
Well, Harry was never going to be king.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why, part of it, you know, and then
He was always a bad, bad boy.
Well, I was
Yeah, he
Charles
was.
Next day, I
bypassed.
watched it.
William is the perfect, when you look at royalty, as far as him and his wife.
The two
And
brothers don't look together.
no,
my
they
my brother
don't.
lives in England for over 30 years, and there's always this wild speculation that it was one of Diana's lovers, it was Harry's father, who had red hair, that captain, whatever. But
Right.
if you know, the irony is, I actually met Diana's father before I knew he was my 18th cousin, you know, years later. I was in England 2 years ago to find out, you know, because my family can go right back to 1230, and that's related to the Spencer family, Winston Churchill and Diana. And we met the John, the 8th Earl Spencer. But, you know, just because they opened up the house and we wanted to see it and everything. Little did I know that, you know, he's my 18th cousin.
No kidding.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's 5-10 million other people, you know. But he was very nice, very gracious. You could think that's where Diana must have got it. But her brother also, he looks like her brother in a lot of ways. But,
But,
Did
you know,
like
the, more,
England? Would you
oh yeah, I
like
love
it?
England.
the more I think about it, you are so right as far as.
But that's already been settled because if you ever look, there's that guy, I can't remember his name. If you're English, you'd know who it was.
Yeah.
And he lives in Australia now. But they don't look alike. But one of my ex-girlfriends says, you're crazy. Look at the eyes and everything, the setting of the eyes, because she's an artist. And sure enough, this has been worked over for almost since he was born, because he had what's called ginger, the bright red hair, which that's not in that family, but it is in the Spencer family. And she says, just look at the eyes. And then I looked at something, and they do show that, like, his great-grandparents, he has the same eyes and stuff, which I couldn't see.
Wow.
Because I was used to all the tabloid stuff saying that he was illegitimate. So he had to grow up in this horrifying environment of the British tabloids.
Wow.
You know, who wants to find out that the mother, you know...
Which I've heard could be
I'd like to know where William
Quite
got his
severe.
ball. Oh, wait.
Much
That
worse than
comes
the
from
American.
Prince Charles.
Charles
right?
has bald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charles looks just like.
Jughead of the Action Comics.
Yep. I agree with that. I'm sorry.
It's like my sister and I. None
You know what
of them met.
you and I
We
find
don't
funny?
look alike.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even
it's
know
funny
what
how
to
you-
look at
yeah.
us.
If
There's no
Elizabeth dies,
resemblance
when
of us.
Elizabeth
She's
dies,
tall
When
and
her mother
tall.
lived to 101 or
Right.
2.
but her husband doesn't take
But
over the
she's
throne.
tall. She's
No, he's a
5'8",
prince
5'8".
consort. He doesn't have the right.
But he has all
She's over
the
6 feet.
money,
She's
nothing.
Oh, he
I-
can
I
still
would
drive at 97 and plow into somebody and
Is
eat
this
the next
Prince
day.
Philip?
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know if
still
I want to be
driving.
that rich. You know, with such a big palace or something like that.
Well, how would you like to have the option of giving it all up?
I would.
Then you can make up your mind truly.
Yeah. Well, Andrew did it. I commend him for it too. I think it's kind of forced to too. 'Cause
You're thinking of Andrew, his uncle, who's a very bad boy that was on Jeffrey Epstein's
Yeah,
plane.
Oh, yeah.
he's,
I
he's,
think
still
Harry.
he's in
I
trouble.
think,
Is he the one going to Canada?
No,
Right.
that's
No.
Harry.
That's Harry.
That's Harry.
Yeah, Harry. Yeah, Harry.
Most movies
I still
are
believe
made in
that
Canada.
Jeff Epstein is still alive.
Oh, I don't know about that. We'll have to do a show.
Yeah. Did you see where Hillary Clinton signed a
Well, let's call
contract to
Bill.
go to Ireland to be a chancellor at one of the universities?
Well, unless we talk about politics of that
Yeah,
time.
but I'm just
son,
saying,
yeah.
you know, one runs away from everything. But
Yes.
who plays the clarinet?
Not me.
Oh, that's my ex.
Your ex?
Yeah.
My
Okay.
niece.
Was she a concert clarinet?
Yeah, classically trained.
Yeah. And she's still playing.
Oh, yeah, she's still into music. I haven't heard from her for a while because they said something about her. She was watching my show and I said something about her.
But I'm also no. This person that passed away.
Wasn't bad, but
This is a person that passed away.
Oh,
well, I hope she hasn't passed away.
It's on your side, Mary.
Could be an oboe too. They're a lot
Yeah, but
alike.
no, this is
It
on
could be
Quinn.
my Aunt Mary's husband.
Yeah, because
It could be
he played
him.
in that Quinn Quartet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
And okay, that's who it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are
They
horses
were
around them.
Wonderful singers.
Oh, I want to offer you my apology to your niece that crossed over. Okay, but I want you to know that she's with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Now, was she related to the one that I did the memorial service for?
In fact, it's Saturday we're holding the memorial service at St. Andrew's from 2 to 4. We're going to eat before, and then when the priest comes in, then we'll do the service afterwards. We're going to church.
If you need me on there.
Yeah, that's why Friday I'm going to be making some food.
Mary is a good cook, yeah.
I'm gonna be-
See what time it is.
I'm not making any beans, though. No, but I'm making what
You know,
she
I
like.
still, you know, folks, what I don't understand, they can't stand people, each other when they're alive. And then they go to the funeral, oh, he was so good.
Or the obituary, some
Yeah.
SOB who
Yeah.
did everything to the kids, including unspeakable things. A loving husband, the father, you know, who they try to, you know, put him away.
Yeah,
He's
you know,
such an SOB.
and I've always said, these people that are in the obituary, and bless them all, you know, who am I to judge or whatever? Well, it's fun too anyway, you know, but you read it, I mean, almost a 3/4 of a page obituary. How much time do they spend with their children or with their family if they're doing all these volunteer work? You know, bless you guys. You know, and I want to send out a very heartfelt to Gloria Arreal, very good friend of mine. Her husband is Native American.
Oh.
And he lived the tradition, and believe me, he made his own drums, and he lived the tradition away. They had a very sacred ground there, and he left about maybe 8 years ago,
Yep.
and now she has joined him. Okay, and their daughter has joined them too. So I want to send out their blessings. Very dear people, very, you know, and you walk into their house, cup of coffee, a piece of pie, you know,
That was
and
my
they heat
mother.
it by the wood.
She used
That's
to
the
make
way-
Does
everything.
anybody do
That's
that?
the way it
You do,
used to be when you
and I do.
visited.
Does anybody do that anymore?
No.
I do. If
Well, yes, I'm sure you do.
yeah, I do.
But
I try to make something. I try to put it that way. I make sure you call me a couple of days so I can have coffee made or something.
Right,
Drop in.
exactly. But I don't think
But I
people.
can't
Oh,
do
when
it on
people
the
come to
spot.
my house, I hide in the basement because, and there was this beautiful gal coming to see me with something. I thought she was they were going to serve me with the summons again for yet another lawsuit.
here we go again. huh?
That's why no politics.
I don't. The only thing I don't
It
do
just
is,
is
and Mary can tell you, go into my office,
It's
we'll
a
set my
hotbed.
kitchen, but my living room is my sanctuary.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't like people in my living room.
and I don't blame
But
you.
I also, you come in, I'll make you feel at home.
Yeah, that's
Even if
true.
I have to bat you in the head once in a while.
That's
That's fine, you want,
Yeah.
you know. And
I watch too much TV. That's my.
Geez, I'll tell you, when I saw who it is, you never saw anybody running so fast after a car, but I'm not a dog, I couldn't catch it.
or what I like is these people that deliver all these whatever, and they throw them at you. You know, like political papers or the Jehovah's Witnesses paper. I go, here, it's
So
I
sick of
don't
politics.
need these. I don't want them littering up my highway. You know?
Oh, every day there's something from that guy Stein or Stain
Die,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Boy, he certainly is a billionaire every
Yeah.
day.
How did they make their money?
He made it he's a speculator, which, well,
Money made it off of the
off of
people.
fossil fuels, and then he's
Really?
reborn as a great liberal.
Yeah, and the staff
Isn't
like
it always
really
that way?
studying. You know, how much people do they pay? Their hourly to make them billionaires today or whatever. You know,
Oh, yeah.
do they do it? And all that.
Is Ross Perot still alive?
I don't know, but that was when there weren't many billionaires.
That's true.
I liked
They're
him.
everywhere.
Yeah, I voted for him,
I did too,
but,
folks. If you don't vote, you can still speak.
I agree.
You don't
I
vote?
agree with
Don't
what
say
George Carlin says. He says, I don't vote, And
You have to vote
the
to
people
say
that say that
That's-
if you don't
that's your
vote,
way-
don't
that's your way to
complain, he
express.
said they have it completely wrong. You're the ones who voted. You're the ones who are responsible. I never voted. How can I be responsible?
Yeah.
And then the rest you can't say on a family TV
Right.
show.
And that, state senator there, what's her name? That's your friend there.
Donna Susi?
No, the other
It's kinda
one. State rep
wordsmith.
there.
Well, there's the other one I know is Lou D'Alessandro.
No, she said she don't like. I don't like her there. The one that called in on your show.
Oh, you mean state rep? You
Right.
mean Heidi?
Yeah, Heidi. If you, I see you didn't vote. You know, I don't
Oh,
know what
geez,
you.
Heidi.
So you can't say anything. So I let her know I voted.
Well, you're always there voting,
Oh yeah.
and Heidi's watching you like a hawk.
I don't care.
She's the number 2 at the place.
No, I know.
She's
I
got
can
that
remember one time-
Germanic efficiency,
I got a
right?
man that when
No
I was
soup for you,
blind,
one
right?
day.
Before I had my eye surgery, I went
Yeah.
in to vote. Oh, we'll put you right over here. No, that's okay. I'm not going into handicap parking, but it's right here. I said, I don't care, and we'll help you and tell you who they are. They go, no, if I can't
That's
do
right. They want to help you with the
it,
ballot.
yeah. And I said, if
We'll
I
fill it
can't
in.
do it,
wrong ones.
right. I knew what you wanted. I said, no, if I can't vote on my own, I don't need your help. I'll walk out and then I'll sue you.
The best time was when you went in. That was like, what was it, 2012? I was outside,
Yeah.
or 2014, and you had changed your party, but it hadn't
Yeah.
caught up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes, they found
Love
out
it.
at Ward 10 that,
I like being a troublemaker. As long as I can prove what I'm doing. You know. But my famous saying is now, if you're gonna slam each other, if you're gonna talk the talk, then
Walk the
back
walk.
and walk the walk. You know. That's like somebody talking to you about whatever you might be doing. If you're gonna walk the walk, then you're gonna do that. You're gonna talk the talk, then you're gonna do the walk the walk. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna challenge you to make yourself a nice pot roast for dinner
Okay.
sometime this weekend. You like pot roast, Mary?
I love pot roast.
Okay.
That's
Put some
close. I
carrots
was thinking
and
meatloaf,
onions.
but pot roast is good.
Yeah.
Pot roast is just.
Start
Little
cooking.
wine
How
in
about
there.
start learning how to save money and what
My
you
mother
know.
used to
And
make the
eat.
best. Remember when I told you?
Well,
Yes,
folks,
sir. We'll do
we're
it.
coming to an end.
Yeah.
John, thank you
Yeah.
for coming on.
Thanks for having me
Oh
on.
yeah, you're always welcome.
Okay.
You know that. You and I have a hell of a lot of fun. We don't
Yep.
care when our people like us or not. Not that fun. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mary, thanks for coming back. Mary is a blessed angel, earth angel. And I want to thank the other Mary for coming on. I love your haircut.
Yes, and
Thank
she
you.
looks so
Have you
good.
thought of the name yet?
Uh,
Of that salon?
No.
Okay.
I
Well, you
am
can text
so
it on
sorry.
tomorrow. Okay, that's all right. Jim, I'm sorry you only had 2 poems. I apologize, but
Oh, thank
come
you.
on again. We'll have you come back on again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anytime.
And
As
I like
long as
that.
you give me a little heads up, I'm happy to come. And you're
I'm
very
sorry
gracious
for being
and kind.
late,
And
but
No, that's all right. I was going to say something when you said that, but I won't. I'll be nice.
My meter ran out 5 minutes ago.
You got to go pay that. Then, huh?
I'm still
So
picturing
I'm
you
going to have to
shaking
say
that.
goodbye
Okay, we'll see
early.
y'all later.
Take care.
Everybody
Bye,
out
John.
there, remember,
Take care.
one of these,
look here,
but I don't know if they make it big enough. Yes.
look here. Everybody look towards the camera. And remember, every day, you are the winner. We'll see you next week.